Hello, hello. Hey, Sir Chris. How are you? Oh, I thought it put a little wave and it didn't wave. There you go. Things got done a little early tonight with all the family stuff, so I figured I'd just start streaming early. And we'll see how long I last. It is a work night, so it's a little harder for me on a work night to stay up late, but, YOLO and stuff like that. We're going to pretend like what I'm going to do. This is what's going to happen. I'm just going to be like, get stuff done, and we'll get like 10 things done tonight. It's not going to happen, but we're going to pretend it's going to happen. How have you been, Chris? So I've added to my streaming punch list. And trying to decide what I want to work on tonight. I have some ideas. That is true. As the kids say, skibbity YOLO Ohia or something. I've never even heard that before. Is that like the Gen A'ers or Gen Zers? Aren't Gen Zs adults now? Is that how that works? I keep up with all these generations. Keep compressing in my mind. Or depressing? I don't know. So here's my punch list. Hey, Sorrow. And I've trimmed it down a little bit. Last week at the end of my stream, I was working on a replacement for the UI rendering, which is like a necessity, and I might work on it tonight. We'll see. I have zero clue. Yeah, me too. I was also working on an HSV option for monsters, which ostensibly should be a pretty simple thing to apply. Excuse me. At least for the 2D monsters. I was thinking of adding additional stats to the equip menu, like the weaknesses and strength. Shaders? No. Well, the shader exists, but it's just like defining where the value gets applied. It's not really very stream interesting, you know? It's like, here, watch me add a setting to one spot and show how changing that setting changes how the monster displays. So again, not super interesting. Analytics, also probably not very interesting. I mean, it might be interesting to see how analytics work, but not like visually interesting to work on. And then books. So we have books, and I could make a new menu to show any books that you've interacted with. I have to consider how that's going to work for a test day. And I think that means I'm just going to make books unavailable when you get to the classroom on test day. But otherwise, you know, I don't know. I'd have to figure out how that's going to work. I want to solve that for making the system, though, just later. Save system, very minor fixes, not a big deal. And then I realized that one thing that we've meant to do for a long time, and I haven't done. So this is like, to me, this is probably the most interesting thing to work on. So maybe that's what I will work on. I have to work on the garbage stuff too, but Atlas and Pyra have the ability to do something on the map. So Atlas can shoot targets with an arrow, and Pyra can whack things with her spear. But we've always intended to allow those abilities to be used outside of like a triggered event. But right now it's like all it really is a gatekeeping mechanism to prevent players who aren't that character from getting to a certain spot. But we're like, well, we already have the functionality for it. Why don't we just make it so the player can use it at any time? Just like Sage can use their ability at any time. So I'm thinking that oh, I just had a great idea for Sage too. I'm thinking that I could work on that. I didn't even add it. Like this is not even. I believe this is supposed to be a down the road ticket. Actually, I should check. I don't remember. Let me go look at my tickets real quick. There's one ticket that's slotted for June. Not that our dates really line up anymore, but slotted for June that I couldn't remember. Oh no, okay, so that wasn't it. So yeah, I don't have a specific thing that was slotted for this. So I could do it. Is it in this sprint? No. I just move it. Move to May of 2024. Sure. Confirm. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I've just talked myself into it. Sorry. Not sorry. I just think that there's a balance of what I work on. And there's times where I'll work on the stuff that's, you know, just has to get done. Partly I want to be interested in it. But I want to work on things that also look interesting to work on. I also feel like Pyra's ability would be fairly easy for me to figure out. So I'm going to start there and we'll see what happens. Sometimes you got to have fun. Motzies just want to have fun. Yeah, Motzies just want to have fun. Motzies just want to have fun. Okay, so let me think about this for a second. I need the ability to create a trigger that is associated with a character that could potentially trigger other events. So one thing is, I don't believe that the trigger needs to happen in the context of the scripting system. So first off, let's go back. There's two things I want to do anyway. I want to go back to my input system, and we did a post about the zooming functionality, and Jacob pointed out that the zoom being the middle stick, he didn't like it. So I'm going to choose a different binding, and later we'll make them mappable. But for now, I'm just going to hard code it, basically. Excuse me. So that people could hold it down easier, I guess. I have this opinion. I know there's a balance between what your opinion is as a developer and what players want. But, excuse me, I'm really burping now. Joystick, gamepad, there we go. I do think there is some need as the developers to make sure that we don't just do whatever players want. Sorry, no offense, players. I don't think I think there's more opportunity for problems. And the thing that Jacob wanted was a toggle for zoom. So essentially you could play the game and just always play it zoomed out, right? And I think the problem with that is that it implies fundamentally that the visual display of our game, what's that saying? Customers don't know what's right, but they generally they know what's wrong. Oh yeah, customers always right. It's sort of like, yeah, you know, like the dog catching the car, or the whole idea that the fulfillment doesn't always equal fun and betterness. And the way we intended to present this game was at a specific camera angle. We recognize that people want to be able to see around better at times, but I don't want it, because if you make a toggle, what will happen is everyone's going to do it to whatever their preference is, and the visual of the game is going to vary. It's actually going to me, it's going to degrade quality over time. And you know, it's sort of, I don't like this analogy because I think it's like everyone would be like, well, yeah, that's why we do it. But like, you know, you go to a really fancy restaurant and the cook provides you food, you don't pull out a ketchup bottle and add ketchup to it, right? Like, you take the culinary meal that they provided and eat it. Like, they don't even usually provide salt at the fancier restaurants. And that goes true, like, you know, I've heard this said about, like, if you go to Japan and you have sushi, you don't add soy sauce and like mix in the, you know, do all the whatever people do. Like, that's for food that's like general fare, right? So I'm not saying I'm a master chef or something. These analogies are just, my analogies are breaking up apart in my head. But I am saying that there is some, to me, there's some necessity to manage expectations around these pieces of functionality. So there you go. That's my story. I did right shoulder. I needed left shoulder. Ultimately, though, the other thing I told Jacob was, I mean, we'll find out, you know, if people really hate it. Customers don't know what's right, okay, or they know something wrong. They also have a terrible suggestion to fix it. You aren't saying you're a master chef, but don't add ketchup to Altarium shift. Exactly. I'm not going to provide you with the ketchup, because if you put the ketchup on table, someone's going to use it. And pretty soon, the meal that you made is no longer what you made. So, I don't know. I think I went on a journey with my analogy, but I'm okay with that too. So we're going to talk about, so nudge, so we're going to do special. That's what we're going to call it. The special ability is going to be triggered by the right trigger. Well, it's going to be right or left trigger, I think. Right trigger and left trigger. Now, I already have a binding that does this too, so I'm not totally sure what's going to end up happening here, but we're going to try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we've got that. That's okay. That's all we really need right now. Oh, right trigger, left trigger. So I need the keyboard equivalent to this. That looks... What would be the keyboard equivalent? Shift? Actually, I should just go look. We have the control here. So the option that does it is ability action, what I call it. Okay. F. F's in chat. Uh-oh. I also made F the zoom. Actually, that's really cool. It would be neat if the zoom and Sage's ability were aligned, because it's like Sage gets a better view. Oh, whatever. We'll figure that one out. So it's F on the keyboard for the special ability, which is a problem because I made F. Pretty sure I made F the same thing here. Let me see. Yeah, so F there. I'll F that. So what would be a good key then? If F is a special, then I could make it like the quote key, which would make sense because it would align with the viewing stuff. I think those are the controls. Problem is my keyboard format's different, so I have to map it visually off of my laptop over here. Okay, so U in this case. Okay, yeah, so it's going to be the same key as semicolon. It'll be. So we'll do, so instead of zoom for F, we'll do semicolon. Actually, I should make sure that it is the right keyboard though. The keyboard, we're going to do character by location. And then we're going to listen for that. Okay. So now we've changed our zoom and we'll make the special the F. What the F? Yo. Keyboard. By location. Keyboard by location. I'm kind of worried that this here is not the key current layout. Here it is. Okay. So now F will be the special ability, which I think makes sense. And we'll start with Pyra because she'll be easier to do. Of course, I say that, and I risk lying to you. How will we pay respect for the chat then? Well, in my keyboard, the F key is T. So you can do T's in chat if you want. You can put a whole bag of them if you want. You can just give me a... Well, anyway. I've said enough. Now we just wait. F's in chat for the build time. Patient, doctor, I need your help. I'm addicted to checking my Twitter. Doctor, I'm sorry, I don't follow. I thought I did that one before. How do you count cows? With a calculator. Okay, so we have the key for the ability. Now we got to figure out where and how we want to trigger it. Now I think with Sage, how did I do it for Sage? I don't remember how I did it. Is it controller? I can't remember if it's controller or input. Ability. Okay, where does this get used? Exhibits. Okay. It only gets used in the existing systems. That's annoying. Whoa, my ears. Philip, one collects. Hello, thank you for the follow. Why were you so loud? I don't know. Thank you for the follow. I thought you were already following me. Well, you might have been following Drafty Games. That's probably it. How you doing, Phil? How you feel? How are you feeling? Because you had that whole doctor thing going on, right? You went to the doc, and they had to check you out, make sure you were okay. You're clearly still around, so that's good. Maybe I can get this. I must use the ability action must be used in code somewhere. How do I use this? How do I live without you? I want to know. Okay. Let me see. I think I did it over here. Actually. Map ability. Look at that. Detector. Da 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 da. In detector ability. Da 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 da. Ooh, ooh. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I love dad jokes. Well, I'm doing the best I can. It was kind of pointless run around. Yeah, that feels what it's like to go to the doctor. One of my boss, the CEO of my company, made fun of me because I talked about how I go to the VA for my healthcare, and he's made a joke about how I won't live very long because I'm going to the VA for healthcare. And listen, I've seen healthcare in regular hospitals, and I don't care how much money somebody has, unless they're like filthy rich. The care isn't great unless you have like a private practitioner that is dedicated to your health. You're screwed. I honestly think I get better care at the VA because basically anything I need is attended to, as opposed to like going to a doctor and there's sort of this back and forth hem and haw, and there's these other limitations because it's commercial. So, you know, they're more interested in how they're going to make more money. Okay, so trigger activated. Interesting. So that's if the trigger is activated, not if it's being triggered. Okay. So this is checking whether the ability. Okay. So this is weird, but whatever. So I actually had done what I thought I was going to do. Perfect. That means I need to do the smash ability. So I'll just call it smash, I guess. Let's get smashed, friends. Because Pyra's theoretically, Pyra's is going to be the easier one for me to trigger compared to other things. Theoretically. Interesting that this is still on Dune. Hector shooting. Interesting. I don't really want to leave it there, though. I wonder if I can move it without breaking things. Probably can't. Sure, it'll be fine. Do I have something in my core? Attributes. I think that's... Oh, I should put it in here. Character. Ability. I think I should put it there. That would make sense. At one point I did try to separate Alterium shift code from, core engine code, but that was hard. I didn't do it. I didn't do a good job. And that's okay. I was talking to Jacob about this. Next project will definitely involve a new engine on top of either Unity or Godot that I will build into the something that's usable and reusable. You're definitely right. I need a stress test on my heart. So I went to the Heart Institute, but guess what? Didn't do a stress test. So they sent another location to do it, make it make sense. Yeah, they're dumb. Next project. I know, Sorrow. When Jacob said that, I was like, yeah, let's just get through this project. Let's survive. Hopefully in a few weeks, we'll have an update for people about what's going on our end. There's no risk to delivering the product, just to be clear. We're still working our asses off on it. There's just been some changes on the back end that have affected some of our progress. So we don't know exactly what that means yet, but we'll have some updates soon. It is a state of being. It's such a state of being, isn't it? Like, you're just always thinking about it. And I chide myself. Like, I saw someone say, and I have ADD, right? Absolutely. I 100% have ADD. I don't have ADHD. Because I don't connect as well with the H part because I don't feel hyperactive, but people say that I'm hyperactive. So maybe it's ADHD. But I saw someone post that, like, if you're going to get something done after hours, you absolutely 100% can't sit down and do anything else. The second you sit, or the second you say, I'm going to watch a show, the barrier to getting back into gear is very, very high. Like, it's very hard to clear that barrier. And I agree with that sentiment. Like, my wife and I have occasionally been watching some shows on TV. And then, like, after the show, I'm like, I should just go to bed. I don't want to work. But I still try, obviously. Hey, yo, Fox Hollow, how are you? Mono behavior. Any hoozle. That's the state of Motzi. The state of his fairs. They're gonna have a special attack where you throw an NES card at the enemy like a ninja star and it explodes. Yeah, that's right. That's the real secret. Yeah, I'll have updates, but I mean, you can see that I'm still working on things, and all I'm working on in the background, really, unless there's like a bug that I have to fix internally for whatever work we're doing. Like, there were a lot of issues around the fishing game where our contractor's like, "This isn't working. It's taking me a lot of time. Can you fix it?" I'm like, okay, I'll go. Otherwise, story. That's it. Story. And it's not so much that writing story is hard for me. It's just that there's a lot of writing to do. Writing story is hard. Even at my pace, because I know fairly well what's going to happen. But there's like cinematics, so there's movement of characters I have to consider. And there's branching logic. So every time I sit down to do is like, of course, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Except for the fact there's just so much of it. There's just a lot. Low complexity, high effort is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating that's what it's like in life right now. All I'm doing is I'm just working on that stuff. So let's see. I don't need to worry about particles or colors. That's good. I just need to... I do an instance. Private. I could do a public instance. Why would I make it private? Philip, one collects. Hey, you're about to find out what happens when you sub on this channel. Thank you for your sub, by the way. I appreciate it. Oopsie daisy. I'm gonna smash you into my code. Buckle up, Buttercup. My little Buttercup. Okay, so awake instance equals this. Why is it not letting me? Because does it have to be private set? I thought this would like auto do it. Whatever. I saw somewhere where it like automatically cleaned that up so it worked. But okay, so you get immortalized in the codes. We're at 05 21 2024. Thank you, Phil 1UP Flex, for the Prime sub. Your first ever. I hope all the help stuff goes good. Thanks for your support. I hope that years from now, there's going to be some hubbub about how many people have their name in the code. Like, how many different classes have some kind of thank you for people subbing or giving bit. because there are lots and lots of those. Marketing beat brewing. Yeah, I'm not the marketer. Jacob is a freaking whiz at marketing. He'll do a post that just seems innocuous and it'll get just tons of impressions and likes. He's got a sixth sense for it, especially with our game. So it's like, I just, do more of that, Jacob. Keep doing that. Okay, so let's talk about what we need to do to make our Smash work, because we got to do Smash somethings. Making the character do the animation is fairly straightforward. I mean, okay, listen. This might sound insane, but I really think, I think I can do this relatively quickly. I'm going to be proven wrong, but I'm going to think that I can do it relatively quickly. So, let's do this. So we need this, and then special. I call it special. I guess I should call it ability. That's actually a good point. It's an ability. Okay, it's called ability. I called it ability everywhere else instead of calling it special. I'm not going to call it ability action. I'm just going to call it ability. Implicit in the definition is action, because it's a freaking action. I don't need to put the word action in there. How dare you? I had a good day. There's nothing wrong with my day. I'm not upset. Everything was fine. Stop arguing with me. My days are really busy. Really busy. Been great being back on the technology department side at my company and running that stuff. I just have a natural understanding of what's needed there. I mean, you could say I also have a natural understanding of what's needed on the client services org, but I don't want to care as much. It's like, it's not like I don't care about the people. I just, like, the whole type of work has zero interest to me. Okay. So what was I doing? Oh, I was updating the input. Okay, I'll go back. Okay, so we don't need ability smash. Millie that performed, and then we make it do a thing. Wait, for real? That's so damn cool. Thanks, buddy. That made my day. Please know that if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. Sorry I've been quiet. Same goes for premium. We all love the game. I believe Barry has reached out. Did I not respond to Barry? If I didn't, I apologize. You can have them reach out to me again. Yeah, no, of course you get, this is just a standing rule that if someone supports me in the stream, which all the money that I get goes into Dratty Games. So even though it's under my moniker, I don't use the money other than doing Dratty Games sort of thing, right? Not that I get a ton of money from streaming, but whatever I do get, the little bits I get every once in a while, anything I leverage, it goes back into the game. So all the money, yeah, all the money. I think I got, so in the last 2 months, I think I got $60, maybe. Then I complain. And I'm totally fine with all the support, but it's not like, lots of dollars. I'm like, not lots and lots and lots of dollars. I did make a little bit more when I was really trying with streaming. Yeah. If I forgot or I didn't respond to Barry, just let me know. Was Barry the one that contacted us about physical release, maybe? Because if Barry did that and our publisher responded to it, I think the response would be, yeah, we'll talk more in the future or something. Because, there's a lot of things we have to manage right now. So what we're going to do when we press smash, this is good. First, we have to check whether the player's locked. We also have to see if there's a current map scene. So one of the things is how do I want to do this? I could either alter. There's a couple ways I could do this. One is I could just make sure this doesn't show up until the game is loaded, and I think that might actually be a smart move. So, I'm gonna make a public void on game loaded, and so then we won't wire the action until the game lost. We won't wire the action until the game is loaded, and I'm pretty sure we have some reference code in here somewhere. So we have on game loaded. Yeah, so here's some places where I've done it, right? And perfect. Is active is true. What is it? Is active? So let's go back there. On game loaded. Can you imagine if I was one of those streamer developers that just use the mouse? Those cool people that they just like mouse it up. Gosh, that'd be pretty cool. But nope. Sorry. The other thing I've been toying with, unrelated to this development, is it's been a long minute. Name and shame. Name and shame. It's been a long minute. I'm shaming myself, Taro. Talking about like those 10x developers like Primogen and the pirate guy. Whatever. I think he's important, right? People like him. The people that are like, they don't use their mice as much. Although I've seen Primogen use his mice plenty. So he has this thing about using Vim in his keyboard, but he won't hesitate to grab onto that mouse and squeeze. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I suppose on game loaded would just inherently define it as being ready to get smashed. So that should be okay. I might want to check just to make sure there is a current map scene, so someone can't like smash it. Nothing wrong with grabbing that mouse and giving her a nice old squeeze. I'm saying, you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so then we're gonna lock the player. So if we're gonna use this button, we're gonna see, what do we want to do actually? Maybe plus equal 1. I think that would be okay. The way they use this lock, they use like bit shifting and stuff, which is not. So they don't use it like a number. They actually use like lock by event, right? So they use this value here, which is an actual like X value. But I think just adding and subtracting it would be okay, maybe. I guess I'll see how badly I can mess things up. I'm all about giving my mouse a little squeeze though. Although, listen, so I got I decided to, I wouldn't call it splurging, but get a more expensive mouse. I got one of these like an MX Master from Logitech. And the reason was I want a silent mouse. I started with it. I got a silent mouse for streaming, and I would get like the cheap version of it. And then, they don't last very long. And so I bought this really expensive MX Master, but now the silent mouse click button, like sometimes it's silent and sometimes it's an audible click. Like it's just, and there's no, like, it just randomly chooses which one it wants to do. And it's really obnoxious. And I've reached out to Logitech, but they haven't responded to me yet. Super annoying though. Okay, so we're gonna lock the player, and then we're gonna play an animation on the player, which I did. I did this in the fishing minigame, which would be on casting controller. Play motion. Okay. So perfect. So we're gonna play the motion. The motion of the ocean, baby. I think it's called Smash. I don't know what her ability is called. Go look it up. I don't have a really... I wish I had a better way of looking up their animation. I might actually be able to do it from here. I should go see. I don't have to open up me. So it's going to be in characters. Hyra. So she has these animations: walk, run, wait. Can I filter it? No, I didn't make a filter. I should add a filter to that. It would make sense. Triple strike. Sweet. I think it's called Smash. Wait, what? When? Where's the... Oh, I see. There's 4 things here. Jump. I need to make a search on this ability. There's not very often I have to check for what animations there are, though. So it's sort of... Do I spend the time on it or not? That's the question. Tugging their fish. Pulling their fish. Pushing things. Attacking things. It's not attack 2. It can't be. It's got to be called Smash. Please tell me it's called Smash. Is it just an attack number? Oh, that's not fun. Not Dojo Battle. I want to go to Dojo. There we go. The Dojo is the one place where we do her ability for sure. I think I also do it in like in the plains. What is this? Don't worry, I am zooming in. Enhance. What is this? This is a shoot location. So that's Atlas's ability. Where's Pyra's Smash? Hulk Smash. Come on. I want to know. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me, Pyra. I want to know what love is. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, this is just... It's one of those nights. I'm also getting a little sweaty. I need to stop being so sweaty right now. Where's my... I want to find my boulders. Damn it. Boulders. I might have to turn on the AC or something so I can cool off. We have the graph navigation panel. This is where it is. Okay. We're going to find some boulders, friends. Boulder? Is that what it's called? Time to get boulder, friends. Hide smashable rocks. Yeah, but what is this? Yeah. Smashable rock. But where are my smashable rocks? I want to smash my rocks. I want to smash my rocks off, friends. Smash those rocks. Smash. While out in the wild, you may come across some boulders. Yes, I might. I might indeed. We activate cinematics. Okay, but where are the rocks? I want to know. Is this a boulder? Okay, let's do this. Maybe this is called a rock instead of a boulder. We're gonna do advance events. Advance. There you go. Must be rock. No? Sheep. Great. Naval weapons? How? I must not have made it an advanced event. That's weird. So we have smashable rock. Okay, shut your face. I know you should be busy, but you've been playing anything? Yes. Do you want to know more? I have been super busy, but one of the things that I've realized is a necessity for life is doing things that aren't just working all the time. And my children are really into Switch now. And so I can't remember what inspired me to do this, other than just kind of my daughter was playing Celeste a little bit. And I was like, I want to play Celeste again. So I did. So I got into playing Celeste again. And I have beaten everything. I have won the game. The only thing I haven't done is get all the golden strawberries. And I'll have you know, although Sympathy may never admit it in public, she did say that I am an S tier gamer. So you heard it here first, folks. Sympathy herself said, I am an S tier gamer. Why is it? I don't understand. Where's my action for smashing it? Oh, smash object. Okay, there it is. So this is going to be somewhere in my code. I just want to figure out how the smash sequence works. They won't. I feel bad for my future child. They won't ever be able to best me in games. Why? Kappa? Because you'll never give them video games to play. Oh, I actually made a motion skill. What is the skill called? Skill Smash Rock. Well, what do you know? We'll just use that. This is back when I thought all of the scripting would be done in code. I'm mostly just playing games to test for premium. Some pretty cool ones out there. That's all I can say. And some Fortnite. Yeah. I don't have time to play lots of games. I went through a phase where I played Goobies a little bit. And I played... I finally played, after years now, Creeper World 4. Because ever since Creeper World came out, I was somewhat obsessed with that game. So I just played the crap out of Creeper World 4. And then I played Celeste. But all of these games, the thing about every game that I play is there's a limit about the amount of time I need to or can invest in it. So I don't think I could get invested in an RPG. I tried to play Chrono Trigger again, but then I stopped. It's because there's just so much time investment involved. And then if you step away for too long, you try and go back to it, it's hard to get back into it. So, okay. So we're going to play the motion of the ocean. Where was the... Here was it. Here, okay. Play sound effect. So, how am I going to do this? I feel like I want to just play /medium. And I do want to make it wait. So what I'm going to do here is... what am I going to do? UI manager. Wait. What's the combined ability here? 0.3 seconds, play the sound effect, and then 0.2 seconds. And then the rest of the stuff I'm not going to worry about. Because all I'm going to do is make the event happen. And then play motion player default. So I'll try to do it for 0.5 seconds and see what happens. So wait for seconds. Oh my god, please, dear goodness. 0.5F. Okay. And then we'll play default. I do have to do the same thing here. So I've been trying to figure out ways to do code without using the Small Game Builder script. I'm getting more comfortable with that idea. I feel that I don't think I could do most open world games now. I'm the type that will check every... Yes, well, that's... And the thing is making, Alterium Shift, I put a lot of interactions. And I realize for some people that's going to be the worst thing in the world. Because they're going to feel obligated to check everything. I try not to make most of the checking that relevant, right? But the thing is, someone who's going to check everything to find a secret, it doesn't matter if you put things that they find while they're doing that, because they're going to check anything anyway. They're going to be going around checking everything. The only problem is that the reward system will cause those people to literally check everything. Rip. Okay, so we'll play the action. We'll do the swipe. I'm not going to worry about music yet. I just want to see if I can make this work. So I know I said this would be fast. For me, this is fast because I think this is ready. I think this will work. And for the moment, I'm not even going to worry about... Hey, Laser Burn. Thank you for the resub. I'm going to go put you into the code. We're going to get smashed together. 5/21, 2024. Thanks, Laser Burn, for the resub at how many months? 24 months. I always appreciate. Hi Motzi, how have you been? Sorry, I've been gone for a while. I've either been super busy or having mental bugs. Mental bugs? Are those like lice in your brain? No, probably like not feeling happy, I would guess. It's okay. I've mostly been here, chugging along. I have been debating, by the way, either doing a stream or doing on the side a video to rehash Smile Game Builder, not Smile Game Builder, RPG in a Box. With all the changes Justin's been doing, I could almost rehash the how to make an RPG in a box and get caught up to some of the latest things and see if I can just finish that video series that I have been waiting to finish. I didn't realize this, but my one video has 20k views. I was like, oh, I should do something with that, right? Should I go and do more videos on it? I don't get as much views on this stuff, but I'm sure people want to know how to make an RPG in a box. Anyway, so I'm not checking if the character is Pyra. I don't think this is going to matter for now. I think I'm going to YOLO this right now because I just want to see if it's going to work. So I'm just going to make sure I choose Pyra. That's all. I swear I turned the AC on, but it's not turning on. I'm very sweaty down here. I wish I had a little fan or something. I mean, not like I wish I had fans as well, but like a little fan would be nice. Uh-oh, what happened? That's weird. Wait, why are we on the old system? That was weird. Okay, hold on. Somehow the checkbox... Oh, wait, what? Checkbox is checked. Oh no, use new save system. That was... I don't know how that got unchecked. Maybe I did that. Okay, that's better. So we'll just go to the dojo. In the dojo. And we're gonna go smash the sheet out of things. Perfect. Look, it works. You see? Look at it go. It's totally working. What? Oh, right. So one fun trick, something you guys need to understand about Unity, is that in order to use new functionality, you actually have to apply the new functionality to your setup. The more you know. That is a weird, by the way, weird disconnect. Because systems like, well, I don't know how Godot works, but systems like Game Maker, it's like implicit. You're going to write functionality for something, it is immediately tied together. Where this, like, I go write the method and then I've got to associate it, which is kind of annoying. I guess I could actually create a component Can I create a component? No, I can't. Yeah, so yeah, it's weird. I wish I understood game code and making games. I have an idea, but not the skills. But guess that's why I work. It's good to work at Premium. I get to help put spotlight on talented devs like yourself and give those games beautiful physical. Let's get physical. There's so many talented people out there. Yeah. Coding is just a lot of banging your head against the wall. A lot. You just do. All right. Can we go smack things? Still not working. Are we getting bugs? No bugs. That's good. Smash ability is here. And it's on. Probably should have done something to let me know whether... There's my zoom functionality. Okay. Fine. Go find out why it's not running. So this on game loaded, that should be triggering a wait instance. It could be that this is a problem. Let me see the other things that call game loaded. So smash ability awake. Yeah, no, that's how that works. All right, well, let's find out what's going on here. Let's see if we can get to here. And then let's see if we get... Oh, I have minus equal, not plus equal. That's dumb. I thought it would be something dumb. Okay. At least it was something dumb. One character issues. I have the attention of goldfish. Seriously, I've been watching me for hours. Or it's been watching me for hours. Oh, I've been watching me for hours. It's been watching. Because the goldfish is giving you attention. But I thought goldfish don't have that long of an attention span. So how could it be watching you for hours? This little nugget. Why are you taking so long? I don't even have the bug turned on. The reason the build takes longer is whenever I open those graphs, something about the setup of the graphs and all the serialized objects results in my build going longer, or my compile going longer. And it, oh, I like that. Why would that happen? How am I not myself? Okay. Previously, it showed like a bunch of things there. All right, let's find out. Boom. Okay, so I can't move the character when it's pushed. Other things still move. Perfect. Yeah, you better run. So then I need to go back into my code. Hey, we're almost there, folks. Let me see here. I think it's because, so it might be like 1.5 seconds. Let's see if that works. I could also just make I can make the animation wait a setting so I can control it. Public, private, float, smash. Roughly, yeah. I'm trying to take care of myself some more now. Ran 10K. Holy moly! Congrats. What's your mile minute time? Or are you doing K? But what's your like run per mile? Is it like 6-minute mile or something? And good to hear. I know YouTube's very time consuming, but you are halfway to 1K subs and already have an audience, so it'd probably be worth pursuing a bit. Yeah, I mean, I've just been really hesitant to delay my effort on Alterium Shift, right? It's this thing where I feel like we're really committed to this project. So spending time on a different thing with my already limited time feels wrong. But it might not be bad. Like, there's also this thing that I happen to believe in, which is sometimes you just got to do different stuff to get your mind motivated for other things. I've seen a couple of RD teasers. Lead me to believe something big's coming on the performance end. Yeah, well, with the Godot 4 updates, I think it's going to be pretty big. You know, like, and I would have, like, the question's going to be, do I continue to wait until I feel like the version of RPG in a Box really is what we need it to be? Or do I take what's currently there and do an updated video? So Zadan? Adzadan? How do you say your name? What do you think about the tech market? Well, that's a very broad question. What do you mean? What do I think about tech, like B2B business? Adan? Is it Adxadan? How do we do that? It's here, right? A button. I can get one of my moderators to take care of it. I don't know why my buttons aren't working. ADXadan. Okay. Thank you. Hey, moderator, can you take care of that? For some reason, my mod button's not working right now, and I don't want to go. I got this. So, Adxadan, what do you mean by your question, I guess, is the question. Sorry to answer your question with a question, but what do I think about tech market? Yeah, tech market. It worked. Wait, what worked? Me pushing the button or you? No, it's okay. You can just do the writing. Sorry about that. Guess I can't expect you. I'm close to 1K on YouTube, but I fell off because it's so time consuming to edit videos and come with content. I'm too much of a perfectionist. Yeah, I don't like video editing. It's not fun for me. Jacob is great with it, but I don't know if he'd want to edit videos that aren't related to our game. And I used 8-Bit Val, and she did a great job. It's just, you know, I got to get her available. Well, I'm a recent college graduate. I'm job hunting. Oh, I got so many things I can tell you. So what did you graduate in? What's your degree? Computer science or something else? I can tell you lots of things. So I'm a chief technology officer by day. I'm not a game dev by day. I have tons of technology experience. Yeah, it is hard, but not hard. It's weird. Like when you're brand new, it can be hard. So you're a computer science graduate. What is it? Is there any specific area in technology you had interest? I mean, don't let anybody fool you. The market is ripe. I don't care how many layoffs has happened. I kind of feel like these big companies did it to try and pretend like the market is scarce. It is absolutely not. You got plenty of options. The hard part is initially getting your foot in the door. I agree, but it's not hard to go from there. With some knowledge in AWS. Okay, so full stack though, like Java, full stack, just JavaScript, Node, Angular, PHP, Python. Boom, can I go hit people? Whap. 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 The problem, I don't really like putting this feature in here, like in town, because it feels like then people are going to go hit everybody and expect something to happen. And I don't like the sort of disconnect where you shouldn't be able to hit somebody in town, right? Java and React, some knowledge of C++. Okay. So first off, there are a lot of options. Bigger companies will require college level graduate stuff. And the one thing I don't know about the market right now is how ChatGPT is affecting it. I'm guessing that it's almost required that you have some knowledge or experience with ChatGPT so you can claim some AI experience and like prompting experience. But that's just a guess because I wouldn't, if I was hiring somebody, I don't really care because I feel like those tools you can, learn them yourself. You can teach yourself by using them, basically. Now, can I talk to someone and use the ability? I don't think so. No, perfect. Okay, so she can go smash. So now the question is, what can she smash? Right now, she can only smash things that are smashable. I want to consider other things that she could smash. You use it to pass operating systems? Yeah. Maybe Skyrim Guard appear mid-hit and tells you to stop. My initial section was to wait a bit, but honestly, there'll probably be something big on the horizon, so it's probably best to get stuff out soon. Oh yeah, I think just for the sake of having something different to do, even, I think it might be good. I could do a stream because I stream on YouTube as well, and I could just see what happens, right? If I get traction from it and there's value, I might do it. Lurkers must be very confused right now. Lurkers on the channel, because I'm switching gears so quickly about what I'm talking about. I'm talking about smashing things. I'm on the hunt. How many interviews have you done? Or how many interviews have you been able to get into? And what type of companies have you been applying to? So here's what I would say. In the industry right now, there are some companies that are trying to get rid of developers in favor of AI-driven solutions, and it will not work. As some in the industry have said, CS like customer service jobs are more likely to be the ones people lose. So have you tried startup companies? Have you tried to look at it used to be called Angel something or other, but there's like, if you just Google or even ChatGPT, like listen, use ChatGPT, right? Ask it to help you find places that help you get interviews at jobs. Like, what different places can you put your name out there? Game dev would not be the best, in my opinion, because game dev just doesn't pay very well. Typically, a startup company might be a good option if you can get into one that's small. It's going to be really strong, difficult, painful, and stuff like that. But at the same time, you have a lot more opportunity for growth. Bigger companies will be more stable, but your growth will be slower. That's okay if that's what you want. I don't know exactly what you're looking for. So, what else could I hit with it? I mean, maybe I could just call this good for now and then talk with Jacob about. I can hit things. I can use the animation. That's a pretty big step, right? It kind of sucks that she backs up when she does it. Don't say that. Customer service, my job. Well, I'm sorry, but it's one thing that I've seen bigger companies start to do. It'll only be a start, though, as information is used stated. As the information it uses data. ChatGPT? No, ChatGPT can search the internet. I don't know if the non-paid version can. Yeah, LinkedIn. You have to cast a broad net. No, ChatGPT can Google the internet. They got a new version that everyone can use. It's 4.0 for Omni, which has all the capabilities of ChatGPT 4. The only limit is like, if you don't pay for it, it's like there's a limit on how much you can use over time, like a rate limit. Maybe I can smash small rocks. Should I just like test this by seeing if I can make it where she smashes a small rock? I don't think that rock has an event on it though, unfortunately. That would be the one problem, is if it doesn't have an event on it, I can't really smash it. So maybe what I'll do, I'm going to call this like good enough for now, because I don't know exactly how I'm going to make this interact with the world. Maybe I could think about it, but like, I don't want bigger rocks to be smashable, right? She would have to upgrade her ability. It'd have to be small things. All the small things. Let me see here. I wonder if I could do this. This is the map. Kind of like half-heartedly doing this right now. Let's see. Here's the map. Where's Pyra at? We'll go to here. That's not where she is. These are just random things on the map. Dog. She at the top. There's a boar hiding behind a bush. Come on, Pyra. Where are you? Help me out here. Help Amatsi out. I'm looking for her. There she is. Click. She was at the top. I wonder why it didn't work when I clicked on her. Weird. Is it because her origin point's a different location? Okay, whatever. We'll find it. We'll go down here. All right. So let me see. What were we saying here? I don't know that about ChatGPT. I thought they still use no 4.0 is available now. I didn't know that. I see that. So the free version of ChatGPT is limited to January 2022. Maybe ever smash enemies? Yeah, the enemies will be a thing, but right now our encounters are scripted. So that opens up a whole nother can of worms where I need to like fundamentally change how encounters start. Why are big companies laying people off? Because money. Because on the books, when it comes to reporting to stakeholders or shareholders, when you lay a bunch of people off, it makes your bottom line look better. So it makes it look like the revenue you made versus the amount of money you're spending is greater. The overall margin for the company is greater, and that can bring stock prices up. And shareholders like that. Some companies do that because they lean themselves up so they can sell, because they make the company look better on the books by removing any waste, basically. Yeah, the companies don't care. They don't care about that. Companies don't care about that growth. Okay. So small rock. This is a static object. How can I make a static object be smashable? And what do I want to do if it, like, I think from a testing perspective, I would just want to make it disappear. I made my family disappear. Made my family disappear. So what I think I could do is I could make a setting on a static object to determine if it can be smashed, right? Because I don't want to say by default Pyra could smash rock. I mean, the other option I was thinking was instead of having her do this, she would do like a swipe or something, which I could probably consider. Like, this is her powered strike. This is the one where you need to like use power, and maybe we don't do that. Maybe we use like a slash or something. Let me see if I can find what her other animations are. Elon Musk cares, and that's why X will take over. Elon Musk fired more people than anybody. Tesla just laid off a ton of people, and they laid off a ton of people so Musk can keep his paycheck of billions of dollars. He definitely doesn't give a crap about developers. Yeah, Musk does not give a flip about individual humans. This is a problem with people in those positions, right? At the end of the day, if he had to choose between his money and your job, it'll be his money every time. He's not gonna make a different choice. If you look at like how much money he's making from Tesla and the fact that they laid off a ton of people so he can keep his paycheck, basically, like, no, I'm sorry. But I mean, like, you could say that across the board for most people, right? I mean, there's even stories about people who stuck with Twitter after the acquisition, like slept in their office. And there's a woman who got fired for that. Well, maybe the story behind that's different. Like, it could be the reality that she was doing something else that she shouldn't have or something. But I would no doubt believe that there are people who dedicated themselves to it and they still got fired. They were all in. They drank the Kool-Aid, and it didn't matter. Yeah, same thing for Meta. Look, people are careless, right? Like, I don't know what of his actions tell you he actually cares about people. But if you ever see somebody in a huge public position and they say like they really care about people, don't listen to their words, observe actions. See what they do. Look at the history of their choices and how it affects people, and then ask the question, do they really care? They care about something, but they probably don't care about those individuals. I just saw an image of his interns. Yeah, interns are, you would listen, ADX, you would be more than happy. Are you being sarcastic? Because like, this would be great sarcasm. Like the interns would be ecstatic. If you got hired by Musk, wouldn't you be excited as a brand new developer? I'm going to take a shower. All right. Thanks, Phil. Can't eat after midnight. Got tests in the hospital in the morning. Well, I hope the tests go well. And you can let Barry know to reach out. I don't remember what he was supposed to. Meta fired a lot of people. Mark doesn't care about his developers. No, Mark's a robot, right? I don't recall him knowing that much about the field he works in either. Yeah, he's smart in some levels, but there's this Peter principle for everybody. It is everything. It's not an as okay. Partly sarcasm, partly not. Okay, because it's like the way you're saying, but his interns are so happy. It's like, you know, photo ops are important to people in powerful positions, right? Showing that they care is important. I believe there are people in powerful positions that genuinely care. I also believe there are people in those positions that tried to care and they got burned and they realized no one's going to take care of them either, so they're just out for themselves. Everyone eventually finds out that as much as people say they care, the actual like balance of that is completely off from what you perceive, right? People don't or people realize it's futile in some ways to care, and so they change how they operate. There are like a few gems in the world in higher level positions that I think probably genuinely do care. Not all of them know how to implement their care, but I think there are people out there that genuinely do. But there's also a great majority who don't. And some of it's like a disconnect from, they don't know. It's like the whole thing about rich people don't know how much a gallon of milk costs because they don't buy milk. They don't know what it costs for people to buy. And they'll think, well, why can't you just go buy this? Why can't you just go do that? One example I heard of is like, well, yeah, you know, when are you going to go to France? Or like, oh yeah, you know, you should just go to France and check out these things. And your average person can't afford trips to France, right? So it's like there's this disconnect for people who have insane amount of money versus people who don't. And almost by definition, they're not going to care as much about the people who don't have as much money, right? Unless their actions are showing they're actively working on that. There are no friends in this industry, partly. So yeah. The only good thing about working as a dev for Musk is that it would open up the gates. Yeah, he's a slave driver. It was just like working, hey, Birdman, or working at Amazon or working at whatever. Like I do a lot. Yeah, barely avoiding food, right? But people like Musk have billions of dollars. We can't even conceive of billions of dollars. We hear the number, but we don't know what it really means, right? So I don't think that the industry is nasty. I think the reality of the world is in the way that we set up how the world functions. A business has to look out for the business above all else. Even if they ostensibly care about their employees, if they can't remain as a business, then the employees are going to be screwed anyway. So even if you took the most benevolent company that makes billions of dollars a year and said, well, you know, these people, they really care about their employees, they will absolutely lay people off. If it came down to brass tacks, they will lay people off. They will make fundamental changes to their business model to keep making money if there was a risk to them losing their business. I don't care how benevolent a company appears, they 100% will do that. Because if they don't, they will fail. That company won't exist anymore. And so they are compelled by the way our industry works to do things to make money. they're compelled to convince consumers, if they're a consumer-based company, to buy their product. They're compelled to get other businesses to buy their product, even if the businesses don't need it, because they need to make money. Sorry, I'm ranting about this, but if you apply an emotion to it and say they're nasty, I think that's missing the point. It's like, this is how things work. I always go back to the Unity thing about Unity's poor decisions on licensing. Yeah, and however, comma, that's how businesses work. They have all these weird things they do. Some they make terrible decisions. Sometimes they make great decisions. And oftentimes it's just luck or someone who has the right mind to know exactly what they need to do. Most times they don't. So there's companies that they're so large, it's hard for one single decision to take them down. They just kind of survive it, basically. Growing up poor, I thought all I wanted was money. It was the absolute center of my life. Then I moved to a first world and had decent salary, and view on money fundamentally changed. And that's just working a crappy job in a good country. The more money you make, the more money becomes literally meaningless. Yeah, Birdman, I think that's a fairly good way of saying it. I'm 31 years old. Oh, thank you for the introduction, by the way. 31-year-old former McDonald's employee, currently looking in the tech industry. Oh, that's not Birdman. Okay. I'm nothing without you. Okay. I just started learning programming a few weeks ago. I'm doing it for the sweet paycheck. I don't know if I treated like shite. I need the paycheck so I can be stable after retiring from McDonald's. Right. You guys are getting me to like totally get distracted. You think I care about that sweet paycheck only? Haha. Is your introduction actually you, or is that like a fake introduction? That'd be great. This is the portion of my stream where I get completely distracted, by the way. Do it fast before AI takes over. Nah. I mean, I occasionally watch what's his nuts? Primogen, and there's a really solid point about AI right now. LLMs are not good at precision, and programming requires precision. Hands down, programming requires precision. And so because that is sort of required, there's always going to be programmers that are going to have to take whatever AI does and massage it. You're never going to get a situation where, well, at least not in the near term, where the AI really takes over that. Let's just say I did work at McDonald's. Darn AI. I'm pretty persistic. I just watched a video of graphical artists who lost their job to AI. It's so sad. Yeah, like any of these technologies disrupt the world and how work gets done. There's a couple of realities I would say we have to think about, though. First off, AI will take people's jobs. It'll reduce the effort on certain things enough so that people won't want to hire as many people to do the same job, right? That's a reality. You can't like pretend that reality won't exist. But by doing that, it opens up different things that need to happen. So yes, there's going to be some things that like shift and change, but companies are then going to try and do more with the AI. And what happens, like, there'll be this, okay, you have fewer people. Now you want to do all these things, but the AI can't keep up, or you need someone to train it. So then you end up like hiring more people, and there's going to be this sort of like, in my opinion, there'll be this back and forth happening. So what if I use AI to replace the president of the United States? Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot more nuance to doing a job like that no one really understands. The other thing I was thinking about is we're such consumers of content, and we're such consumers of outrage marketing, that the things that we look at online, whether it's related to a public figure like a president or some event that happened, we see the briefest description of something and we immediately consume that as knowledge. Whether we think it's 100% true or not, it's in our brain. And so there is some necessity of discernment to understand like what we perceive isn't always exactly what is happening or has happened. It's a hard thing. That's a hard thing. I don't want her to do her stabby stab. I want to do... See how I'm perfectly willing to get distracted? I'm so willing to just get totally distracted from my work. I guess I could just do her twirl attack. I could make Jacob make me a new attack. Yeah, it would be much better and fairer politician. Well, but who's training the AI, right? Joe Biden went to Michigan and he thought he was in Delaware. I remember 20 years ago, a really, really smart professor I had convinced me to switch majors because all the jobs would eventually be outsourced to India. Still hasn't happened. Yeah, I look at AI the same way. I mean, my favorite. Hold on, AI art will never die. AI, right? Well, AI can't train off of AI. It'll just degrade. So, I think in the same way as $5 paintings at Walmart. Right. Like, AI is going to create some, like, okay level of something. But I believe people will get desensitized. They won't be moved by things that are done by AI. And it's going to be so, like, samey, that the only people that are going to rise above it are the ones that can innovate with what they create. But I think that's the same thing that happened with every new technology that we implemented in the world. It just seems like this happens all the time. Books were on printing presses and people were like, oh, that's going to ruin the world now that books are mass available. People are going to have their noses in books all the time. It just doesn't happen, right? The assembly line, not assembly line. Well, yeah, mass production using assembly lines and like robots. Oh, that's going to replace everybody's job. No, because then the machines need more work, or there's going to be other things that we're going to need that kind of capability. The big trick is, as an individual, don't get yourself stuck in one spot where you can't move. I think AI should have AI, but it needs multiple pieces in place. Yeah, I think that it could theoretically train off of what AI generated, but I don't think you're going to get. It's not going to be able to bring itself up above a level. Maybe someday it will. Maybe they'll create some creativity algorithm that will be able to think as creatively as humans can. But I think there's going to be this sort of barrier for it to grow unless you have human input. Where do you see this happening with programming? I've said this before. I'm going to be real blunt about this. I've been in the industry for 18 years, something like that. In the actual industry versus, like, I've been programming for my whole life. I'm 43. I've probably been programming for like 25 or 30 years. But I have been in the industry for 18 of those. And ever since I've been in the industry, there's always been different layers of developer. There have been people who are only in the industry to make money. And those people will 100% rip off whatever they can find. They'll go to Stack Overflow. They'll find something that basically solves their problem. They'll copy and paste it and then basically just tweak it enough so it works. And you end up with these gigantic classes with all this garbage in it because they only care about solving the problem in front of them and moving on. There's something that happens with outsourcing that happens in general. Like, it happens with brand new people who are just trying to keep up. So it's not necessarily saying they're bad for that, but that exists. And then there's people who will do some of that, but then they'll try to learn and grow and improve over time, and the developers will grow up and get better, right? But there's always this sort of underlayer of people who will take any job to get paid, and they're willing to just write it as bad as they can just so they get the problem solved. They don't care about like how well the code's written. And so to me, ChatGPT and other AI tools, what they're going to solve in this problem is you'll still have those people, but their output will be a little bit better. So hopefully it would bring up the game overall, like overall improvement. I don't know how true that will be, because I think if you're going to use AI, you need to understand eventually you need to understand how the code works. You can't just use it. You gotta like have some discernment. If you don't have that, choose attack. I'll use attack and see how it works. Even put the motion here. I can mess with it. I'll read chat in a second. I'm just I'm getting caught up in what I'm doing here. String ability. Here we go. Let's go back up here. Walmart. Remember, AI is nothing but web scraping with attack of conversations. See, you got it in a very good time. What did I get? Programming is one of, if not the hardest things in the world. The complexity of programming is incomprehensible. Yeah, like I keep mentioning Primeagen. He did this look at ChatGPT 4.0 for Omni. And there's very common tests that they use to see how well it's doing. And you can't get it to do something specific. So the example was something like, give me a sentence that consists of 7 words, but do, this, the first one has to be this long, and it can't do it. It'll give like 6 words or 8 words. And you'll ask it, what did you do wrong? It'll be, oh, I see what I did wrong. I missed a word. And then it'll try to reproduce and it can't do it, right? So while it can do, like, it's horseshoes, as they say, it can do getting close enough. It can't get as specific as you need. And programming is very specific. Birdman 2, but it's pretty good at writing code. It is pretty good at writing sort of like the close enough code. Copilot still can't get quick sort right last time I checked. Basic boilerplate, but architecting major client server projects. Right. Copilot is really helpful for speeding up a developer's work. And it's also really good for, it's good for filling the knowledge gap. It's good for templating out a solution that you want to work on. So like, if I was going to work on a problem and I knew roughly what it's going to look like, I could prompt it and it'll give me all the classes to start with. And half the time, like most of the code will work, but I'm going to have to fill in the rest. And it might not even produce the code in the way I want, so I might have to refactor it a bit. But it's not going to give me the full solution. I can't I've tried many times to give it prompting of, okay, here's my project. Here, we're going to work through it step by step. And it reaches a point where it gets circular. Like, oh, well, that code didn't work. Give me something better. Oh, you're right. Here, let me give you the better solution. And the better solution isn't better. And like a human has to go in there and make it work, right? AI can't even write good backend for me with Node.js. I mean to say, you get in the industry at a very good time when it's prime, but right now it's nothing but layoffs and impossible to get a job. Yeah, okay, but one thing I will say, ADX, is my opinion about jobs and hiring is also entirely based upon my understanding of, like, if I go to look for candidates, there's a lot of options, but people are still getting hired, right? But it's not based upon me looking for a job. So I don't actually know from a brand new person's perspective what it's like to get hired. We've certainly hired some new people at my company, and I know people are finding other jobs. Usually contract or freelance is a good start too, if you can't get a full-time hire. But I really don't know what it's like. If you've only done 4 interviews, or if you only applied to 4 companies, then you haven't applied to them. So, I mean, like, how many jobs? You said earlier that you had 4, but was it 4 that you have applied to, or 4 interviews you've done? Like, how many jobs would you say you've applied to? Let's see here. If I go to the Smash ability and say just attack. You can be a little bit shorter. I might just have to go back to Jacob and see what he thinks about this. I just feel like we need a swipe. I guess it could still be a smash though. Oh, but there's no up for it. The only one that has up is that smash one. That's the only one that has an up. That's one of the problems. Okay, well, I think I'm not sure if it's going to be beneficial for me to try and figure out how to make objects on the map smashable. Like I keep wanting to get away from it, but I also think do it though. I could make objects smashable. Bigger problem is I'm allowing myself to get totally distracted right now. Like I could make those things smashable. Those are rocks. What are they? Character? No, it's map up. Small rock. Okay. Hold on, getting caught up. 4 interviews. Oh, so many. Okay. I think it's really hard for entry-level programmers now because of the infusion of intermediate ones from the layoffs, but experienced devs are still in demand. I apply like 20 times a day. I literally send them in. Have you refreshed or had anybody that you know help you review your resume? Very discouraging. Only 7 out of the 500 classical. Yeah, you said have gotten a job. 4 out of those were 7 girls. Do you think girls get higher priority? It might. They might, depending on. But I've hired really good female developers. So, are those scan lines? Yes. There is a CRT filter we have that can be enabled or disabled. So we can turn it on or off. Somehow I have some weird setting that's not working properly. I don't know. I mean, ADX, I have hired a lot of people and most of them have been male. So I don't know what to tell you. When I interview people, I actually look at how good they are. Where are you physically located, or like roughly? Like, is there a specific state that you're located in? State of despair. Oh, in Chicago. Okay. I don't know people in Chicago. I mean, you can, if you want to look, if you want to like here. Is that right? If you want to pop into Discord and DM me, you can send me your information. I can either look at your resume and tell you what I think, or I can, if your resume looks good, I can get you into my job to apply. I run the technology team. There's probably some companies that prioritize diversity, but it's definitely not the rule. I would say it's much harder for women to get jobs in technology. I think there's much more sorry, but there's much more misogyny against women having technology jobs than for it, right? But I would say that because the percentage of women in tech is much lower, especially for development, they gotta be really good, right? You can't. It's really hard to get far without getting good at it. I'd like to see a description of what you guys do. I mean, sure, you can message me. Like, I'm not promising you anything. I'm just offering to help. So, feel free to reach out. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, like, this stuff is, it's always hard to get your first job. Once you get it, you can build up. Once you get it, you can build up your experience. And it never hurts to try and get a contract. It sucks sometimes, like getting contracts at like a consulting company. A lot of consulting companies like to hire more junior people, but make them sound more senior so they can sell them for more. But they only pay you on contract, so it's kind of better for them. But a contract means a company doesn't have to pay you all those benefits and stuff. Then you start building up some experience. First job really hard to get, so just accept anything that's offered. Right. I remember back in 2006, not 2020. In 2006, I got my first job. I was older because I was in the military for 4 years. So I started as a junior person, and I got offered a $50K salary. Entry-level developer. And I was ecstatic. I grew up poor. I had no money. Getting a $50K salary, that's a big freaking deal for me. Like, you know, like it's probably more money than my mom ever got paid working as a teacher. Maybe she made more. I doubt it. But also, the problem is, like, cost of living and stuff is different as things change. So, yeah, well, in 2006 currency would have been better than now. Inflation's much higher now. I mean, you can even, there's like an inflation calculator that tells you what it would have been worth. Yeah, it's like 130K now. I don't know. I could actually go. Now I want to find out. Cost of living. No, I think it's an inflation calculator. There's a company. It's called CPI Inflation Calculator, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you have this thing here where you can say, like, so $50,000. God, why is it not working? Oh, it's over there. The $50,000 in January of 2006. To now, right? So it would have been holy crap. That's insane. You get, you know, that's insane. That's still pretty. I mean, that's a lot. That seems insane. I can't even believe that. I don't even know how that works. But oh yeah, you just did it. Sorry, I didn't even. You did the math yourself. Let me see. Yes, that's making 100K now. Starting role, not bad. Well, it was a little high, but it really was pretty low. Everyone else was getting paid more than that. Everyone was getting paid way more than that at my company. But I just remember how excited I was to get that paycheck. And now it's like, no, it's, you know, it's a lot more now. Like for junior devs, 50 is like, juniors, like people who have no experience now. They like coded in their garage or something. Now I own the teams. I'm not talking about me personally. Yeah, my paycheck is a lot more now, but like, just like for junior people to start, it's more. Now I run the technology department. Okay. Is this like a not working stream? I really thought it was a working. What did I do? How did you guys get me so distracted? I'm not complaining. I just think it's funny. I think last stream I literally said there are some streams where I get a lot of work done and no talking happens, and then there's these streams. What I'm looking for a small rock. There it is. Okay. So what I want to do, because I'm gonna pretend like my brain is gonna be able to get connected on here. I want to invent a way to make a smashable object. That's what I want to do. ADX Adan, thank you for the follow. I run your technology department. Your face is my technology department, Mr. Mechamoose. Sorry, it was my questions in tech. That's fine. Hijacked by controversial topics. I do get caught up in those. Because I think about this stuff all the time, right? It's something that I think about constantly. I'm the captain now. You're not the boss of me now. But I'm in a smaller company, right? The company size is like 60 people. So, you know, I talked to someone over the weekend, a dad of my wife's friend. Wait, thanks for the follow, Nildan. A dad. What am I trying to say? The husband of my wife's friend. There you go. That worked. He's in a company where he manages 80 people. He's a director, and I'm a chief technology officer. But comparatively, my company's smaller. His company's like, they make over $500 million a year. So the whole different ball game. So the problem with larger companies is movement is way, way slower. And it's obnoxious. I'm going to make this 1, I think. No, I'll make this 0.5 billion. Slower. It's nice to talk about controversial topics with open-minded, decent people. Pretty hard to find a community to talk to about those. Yeah, what triggers them? I think the triggering aspect of any of these topics is if you parrot sort of like industry polarizing opinion. But the thing is, like, the polarizing opinions is what gets people interested in topics. Seeing people get angry about things or like getting mad about something is how you are sort of controlled into getting interested in something. So like, ADX Dan was making comments about president stuff, and like that's a triggering topic, right? And if you engage on that topic, it goes down the rabbit holes of like opinions for one person versus another to like all the world's problems, basically. And there's also ways to handle controversy by saying, listen, this is, as far as I know, this is what I think about it, but I don't know what's true, right? I think I have some assessments based on my experience. Right. Well, I kind of thought you were being like, but there's like reality to the topic, but it's just not relevant to what we're trying to discuss, right? And I only brought that up for illustrative effect, to be clear. With startups, you're solely restricted to tech, or do you have flexibility with content creation and marketing? It depends on the company, honestly. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mendoza. We're talking about topics. What I mean by being triggered is people are calling you a bigot or trying to cancel you. Yeah, well, hey, have a good night, Laser. Feel free to hit me up on the side. Tell me how you're doing. You can always slip into my Discord DMs. I didn't mean to say it that way, but I saw HR's here, so I wanted to be weird. Yeah, I mean, I think it's because people like to hate other people. I don't know. I don't know. Our world is interesting. I think it's really interesting the way that we look at things. And listen, like, I have my own strong opinion. Absolutely. 100%. There are things I have very strong opinions about. I try not to like, but if I have a strong opinion, the one rule that I always follow about opinion, we're all haters deep inside, is that I always allow for the opportunity for me to be wrong. Always. I can have a long-held belief about something, and someone will provide me evidence or counter arguments about something that get me to think. And that thinking can chew away in my brain until I decide whether my previously held opinion was correct or not. So while I might have things that I believe to be true or like kind of true, if I learn information one way or another, I'll change my opinion. Coding and otherwise, right? Like what I used to hate all programming languages. I still kind of do. But at the same time, I've learned that it doesn't matter how good code is written or what language you're using. It matters about solving the problem and then working on improving. People like you are rare. When you attack most people's beliefs, their first instinct is to kill you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, my wife is more religious. I'm not religious at all, but she's Christian religious. And I tend to question things. And so we've had some times in our lives where it's like, okay, this is a topic we can't discuss because I have a tendency to question things about everything. I like to ask questions. think it's important. I think asking questions is important. And not everybody wants questions. Someone says, here's my answer. I said, okay, if that's your answer, here's my next question. And they're like, I don't want you to ask any more questions. It's like when I converted the object-oriented programming to data-oriented. Oh, you're a DoD person. I see. I can't converse with you anymore, Mendoza. All programming languages are good except Java. Java sucks, you're right. I'm kidding, Mendoza, by the way. But you're right. I think we could all universally agree Java is the worst language ever. Oh, man. What was it? Oh, there was something that happened the other day. My wife said something like she wouldn't support. She said something like, well, we're only going to support these people because they're local, right? Like buying something local. And I immediately said, so then you're going to stop shopping at Starbucks? Are you only going to go to local coffee shops? Are you going to... And to me, it's just sort of the tongue-in-cheek, like, I'm not trying to... By the way, I'm not trying to... I love my wife. I'm not trying to make fun of her. I look at the scenario, and I think it's funny. She didn't get mad at me. She's like, yeah, well, I'll just always go to these shops then. Fine. As a Java dev, I resent that statement. I just spent a year learning Java. Don't diss it. Just discuss it. Yeah. 1 second. Oh, okay. I was like, what was that message again? Oh shit. Okay. Come on, phone. There you go. Java's fine. I mean, everybody needs to have something to do in their lives, and you know, reading through 10,000 lines of logs is, if that's what you want to do with your life, fine. Get it. You want to write verbose code? Fine, do it. You know, who doesn't like a little verbosity? Oh, yeah, I saw that. Like, what is that? In fairness, Java is great for getting work. I could probably get hired tomorrow if I were willing to work in Java. I write Java code every day, and I love every second of it. I think I would like Java better now that I have Copilot. I'm old enough to remember when Java people were the cool kids. No, they never were. They just told themselves they were the cool kids. Now I'm intensely saying things to inflame people. I love it. I love the religious debates on coding standards. Java's accelerating a lot. Wait, are you finally on Java 8? Is that what you're using now? Or are you guys still on 7? I can't remember. It adopted a lot of features that cut down on some of the verbosity. Really love our verbosity. It makes it so much easier to read and understand. I think Python people think they're a cool kid. See, Mr. Mekamu's laughing and he'd be like, no, we're on... Okay, 10. What's the latest version of Java? That's my point. You're still on 10.13. Okay, get it. If you really love Java, you'd be on 18 by now. If you really loved it, if you truly believed in Java, I'm going to put my ability in here. I'm not writing code. I'm just looking at the code. You guys are not letting me get any work done. Did I already make a smashable object? I might have. Thank you for the follow, Star of Kazan. Most languages have the same issue. I'm on the Java version with it for loops. Honestly, C# is basically Java if you're using that. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, no, it's not. C# is like an amalgamation of C and PHP. Or it's like JavaScript and Angular. Well, because Angular was Microsoft. Most languages have the same issues, though. I mean, the big corporation issues. Yeah, that's true. Where we have standards and built containers and stuff for certain versions, it's just easier to stay with that. Yeah, I know. Upgrading sucks. What happens in Java? What happens is Java increments the version number by 5 every new version. Kappa. PHP sounds like a lawless wasteland. Yeah, PHP is weird because it's built on top of C. It's built on top of the C language, and their classes are arrays in the back end. Their classes are just data, essentially. And not that classes aren't data, but like the way they treat it in the back end is just weird. And how they do their language and their language parsing is also very weird. And they've done things where it's like they want to pretend like they're object oriented, but they don't want to be fully committed to it. So they do like halfway solutions to common problems. Like PHP doesn't truly have method overloading. It just doesn't. And it's, well, maybe they do now. I don't know what the latest is like. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't do method overloading. And it's so infuriating. But, you know, PHP lets you describe variables without having to clearly define them. And that's what C# does. You can just call everything a var if you want to. I kind of like that. I don't mind. When I first saw the var, I hated it. It's like I want to specifically define the things that I'm going to use. I want to specifically specify my types. Like you, when you grow up to be as good as me, Mr. Mecha Moose, you'll learn how to let it go. What's a foreign key in SQL? That's the question, right? No one uses them. I coded PHP once. I grew a third nipple shortly after. Coincidence? I think not. My professor worked in PHP and likes Java because of the overloading. Excuse me. I really hope secretly that I'm not pissing off Mr. Mechanism. I'm just having fun. Okay, so what I need to do is determine a way to detect whether the character has smashed the object. How am I going to do this? If it's a 3D object, I believe I can just put a collider around it. I'm going to pretend like I'm getting work done. I know what a primary... a foreign key is a primary key of another table. Yeah, I thought the joke I was making was people don't use... They don't use key constraints because they're too obnoxious to work with. I'm so offended you don't like some same tech stack as me. End of the world in rage right now. Give object HP of 1-1. Play animation on kill. No, I don't... that's not... This whole... I could talk for hours about how this engine is configured. It's based off of... So I showed this earlier when I was looking at the animation. This thing's called Smile Game Builder. And so it was a homebrew as in the company made it from scratch using XNA framework. And so it's all like just completely its own framework. But it exports to Unity. And so the way they set up their maps and stuff is not how you would probably do it if you were just building Unity from scratch. And so when I do something like, I want to make this rock smash, I have to take into consideration how their engine works so I can make this one object that's on the map respond to an action like that, right? I remember World Before Java. It was nicer. The grass was literally greener. Redeem highlight message. Python is older than Java. Yeah, but Python's even worse than Java. I don't know what... I don't know if you're going to be in on the joke, but I would say that Python is my least favorite language. Java's fun. And the only reason I don't like it is because I don't like any language that relies on style to define structure. Python is a close second. Of the like mainstream languages. Yeah, I don't like the indentation approach because the other problem is your IDE can't infer anything. It can't. So if you get something wrong with your indentation, YOLO. At least with an IDE that's doing something like Java or C#, whatever, if you have the braces, I don't care where they are, it's going to know how to format it. Python's hard to understand when you've been programming in Java your whole life. You leave my indents alone. You should have done the Python route when I should have done that Python route when I had a chance. Yeah. Oh, rim shot right in my ear. Don't read into that. I mean, things like PyCharm work well with Python nowadays. Yeah. The indentation stuff is my least hated thing about Python. I haven't used Python enough to know. And when I started trying to use it, it was when people still use Python 2, but Python 3 with object-oriented features was there. I don't know where people are. No, it's okay. I don't know why my audio is a little off today for some reason. Did I turn my volume? Yeah, my volume is a little higher than it normally is, which is part of the problem. I gotta change my audio here. Yeah, that's better. You can rim shot in my ear if you want. It's fine. Not the 2 versus 3 debate. Whoop! Another rim shot. Whoops! I did it again. I rim shot your ear. This just sounds so inappropriate. Okay, so what was I doing? I wanted to see I could like manually add an object for now. So I'm gonna put. I think I'm gonna need a collider, unless there's a different way that I can do this. I need to somehow determine the object that is being faced right. Yeah. So I wonder if I can get that. I can't get that object. Can I? I might be able to. I don't particularly want to add a collider, but I could do that. The problem is these characters with the billboard, their origin point is 0. This is also one of the more infuriating things about the way they set up their engine. For their billboarded objects, they put the origin of the object at 0. See this? And they drew the image at wherever it's supposed to be on the map. So like figuring out where the character is not necessarily the easy. Why Python when you can bash? You guys are talking about being thrown off by languages. Go pulled my leg big time by having uppercase variables mean something special. What is this? Oh, TwitchCon. Yeah, I don't know. I've never used Go. I don't know much about Go. I hear people like it. And Rust. Ugh. You guys are not helping me get my work done. Okay, so what would be a good way to determine? I could determine it by the what is in this object? This is her. Where are you? Come back here. Okay. So in here, there is a mesh renderer. I did have a box collider. Apparently, I turned it off for some reason. Or it's not placed properly. Why is your box collider turned off? So I could get the point from the mesh renderer? Or I could use, I think I can get the point of the object from here. So I think what I can do, here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to see if I can get the smashable rock that's in front of her when her ability is used. I'm gonna try that. Rust all over Twitter comment. Yeah, I know. People like Rust. I've never tried it. Retro Motzi. What is Retro Motzi? Like old me? I know people like. I get turned off by languages that have coding standard structures that.
Don't want any chickens ever.
That's my wife. My wife is composing. She plays music. She does not code. She doesn't know anything about coding. Doesn't want to know. I don't know if you're working on a retro style RPG, so I thought it fit. Oh yeah, did you know the game I was working on? Oh, you're working on, yeah. In case you don't know. Do you know anything about music? Not really. I mean, I know a little bit, but not. I know more about music than she knows about programming. I'll say that. Okay, so what I want to do is see if I can figure out, based upon the hero's location, we're going to say fair hero. Thank you all for completely distracting me from getting my work done, by the way. I don't mind it. I truly... Wait, you're making a game? Yeah. I don't mind it. Every once in a while, I need that. This is good for my soul. Talking all the time. You know, when I start streaming and there's like silence, it gets a little bad sometimes. Frustrating documentation is frustrating. Look, thank you, Laserburn. My documentation has nothing to do with the actual code. Speaking of language, anyone work with Flipper Zero? Noper Zero Zopa. Never heard of that one. Okay, what am I doing? Map character. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, what am I gonna do? I need to find the map object. So the map object is gonna be, map objects equals map objects. Those are map object refs though. Crap. I thought I made a way to get map objects. I feel like it's gonna be somewhere in here. No? Map. There you go. The problem is this doesn't give me the actual object, does it? Current map objects.count. Map object isn't the actual object though. That sucks. Okay. Is there a way for me to get it the other way around? That's gonna be the question. Add map object, remove map object. I must have made added for convenience, never used. Got it. Wasn't very convenient, was it? Pixel Garden, you're working in Flipper Zero? I don't know what that is. You need to post some shorts to boost your viewership on here, Motzi. Should I? I only wear pants though. I guess I should wear shorts this summer. Or some devlogs. I know I should. Sympathy. Hello. Sympathy. I did tell everybody that you called me an S-tier gamer. Even though I don't believe it. Don't lie to them now and say that you didn't say that. I choose to believe it. My God. She Composey, so talented. Just heard her songs. You don't deserve her. Thanks, Mendoza. I know. Don't worry. An ass tier gamer, yeah. I use my butt. You are. I can't believe the pure skill needed to finish Celeste, and you did it. But you have to understand that it's not skill. If I had 13,000 deaths, what it means isn't that I was skillful. It was that I was willing to train my hands to do the hardest thing. Wait, did you finish 7C? Did you finish 7C? I hate you, Sympathy. Did you get like 11? You got 11,000 deaths and you finished 7C? I still haven't finished this. You're calling, if you're saying I'm S tier, then you have to be whatever is above S tier. Because you had 11,000 deaths and you finished 7C? No thank you. 7C took me a week plus to finish. To get past that. And it was just like, I would just sit there and just keep freaking hammering at it. I got 2 dashes away. My last C, I am 10,300 deaths. See? So the heart isn't quite, the core isn't quite as bad after this. Once you get, although you have to get all the other hearts. Have you gotten all the hearts then? Everything? Yeah, then you have to be greater than S tier for sure. So the problem is these map objects nonsense. They don't give me the actual freaking objects. Okay. Can I get other information about these objects? Let's see. No. This does not have an object reference in here. That really heckin' annoys me. Because it means I can't use their system to determine the object without doing a whole lot of work. Every heart, everything, and your, yeah, okay. I was considering trying to do another Celeste run on my PC so I can get some of the whatchamacallits? Achievements. I think I could do better than the number of deaths I had. I'm still saying I know 2 people who are pretty good at games who had 30k deaths on their clear. Okay. I guess from one S tier to another. I guess that's sort of like vampires. Only an S tier can name another S tier. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I need to find out how they mess with these stupid map objects. Because what does it turn it into? Add map object. Okay, well, that doesn't look good. Why did it do that so slowly? Vampire sympathy. The S tier vampire. Map data. I want to see how they use these things. So they make a map object ref. And they give it a GUID. What is this called? I feel like at a certain point those seasides need skill and luck, but for sure skill to execute the number of moves necessary to win. And I will be honest, like for some of them that were more like just knowing the mechanical direction you need to go, a couple of them I watched YouTube because I didn't want to be bothered with learning the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have figured it out, but I didn't have any energy or time to do that. So I didn't. There's only, okay, I will say this. There's one time that I enabled the cheat, but it wasn't because I didn't beat the level. I had, in the heart or the core, I got past the second room, but I must have not saved it because my my son swapped it out for a different game. And so it took me back to the second room after I beat it. I was like, there's no way I'm going to go through and beat this room again. I already beat it. I'm not doing this. So I turned on the cheat so I could bounce past it and get to the next one, and then turn them off. So I was like, well, maybe that means I should beat it again. Like, I don't want to do that. I know I can do it. I don't want to do it again because the room involves those like bouncer things, the ones that are like pinball, and they go ting ting, and I hate those things because the precision is, it feels so imprecise to try and deal with those things. Okay, add map. So it is a map object instance. So it does get map objects back. So where are all the map objects at? That's what I want to do, is I want to find all the map objects. Where are you Where are you, little bastards? Oh, here we go. What is this? Map object instance. Okay, so this is map data. So these are all the map objects. So these should be the things that I want to get access to, right? Where does map data come from? How do I get access to this? Oh, there's only 325 usages. I'm sure I'll find it easy. Map data. Is it everyone? No, it can't be everyone. It must be in the map, right? No, maybe it's in the... Okay, so it's a map drawer. Okay, so I should be able to get the access. Okay, I can get information. That's good. That's what I need. I need to get information. Did you know apparently you can dash through yes, I did know that. I started looking at things now that I have finished most of the game. It's called Demo Dash. Apparently you can just straight up bind it to a button, but it's a crouch combined with dash. Yes. I have heard about that and I've watched people do it. I haven't been inspired to try it. Because if I were to do that, I'd have to be a speedrunner, and it's not going to happen. That's the one thing I will probably not end up ever doing with Celeste, is attempting any sort of speedrunning. I have watched the speedrunners. I know where I sit. And to be honest, if those are S tier people, then I definitely don't amount to that. But I guess maybe you can make a category. It's like, you know, God tier. Okay, so we want these guys. And I think what I can do is just make a public version. See, this is where Copilot, sometimes it doesn't understand that I want, well, I think what it's doing is it's inferring based on this class how I would want to access this, as opposed to inferring based upon my coding standards, like what I've been doing. So instead it gives me a getter instead of using a property. I think instances probably makes the most sense. These. Anyway, yes, I understand Sympathy. You see what happened, Sympathy? We were like in the throes of talking about different programming languages, and then you showed up and everyone stopped talking. You had that effect. You're like, Sympathy, what's your most hated programming language? Can I ask? Would you be willing to give a hot take on that? Don't cry. It's okay. I might actually get work done now because the chat's not popping off about, you know, the fact that Java is the worst language ever. You know, I mean, I tried to stop them, but they just hate Java. I don't blame them though. Java's pretty terrible. Not as terrible as Python, but you know. Where's the map unit? Not sure what I just like, but I'm struggling learning GD script. You know you could use C#, right? You can use C# with whatchamacallit. Look at that. Exposing an internal to the public. Exposing their internals to the public is great. Love doing that. My struggle is more the engine side than the language side. So Godot is not really good doing it for you. I'm old and started in C. I think I'm required to hate Java. Well, yeah, but why? I mean, C's even worse. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just... Monty, don't alienate people. Wait, why is map... Oh, map door dot map object. So I don't even know what this is going to do for me, but... Slander, blasphemy. I've never used Java. Consider yourself lucky, sympathy. I've used Java. I used Java back before we had all these fancy tools to make it easier to do. And I think that's why I didn't like it so much, because when you think about the tools we have now and you go to make a class, common things like getters and setters, which are either done by properties or other ways, they're generally generated for you. But back then, you had to hand write them. Oh, okay. I'll make my private field, and then I'm going to make my public getter and my public setter. And so if you had 5 of them in your class, you're going to be writing 5 freaking getters and setters, and I hated it. I hated just the mind-numbing boilerplate repetition. Copilot takes all of that away, and it makes me feel happy thoughts. It adds some problems because if you're using someone else's code, it tries to like make you write like their code. There's like, never have me work on Walliver's code, because then they'll try to make me write like Walliver, and that just means everything I write will be ternary operators. We can't have that. Okay, so do we have information on the map object instance's location? No. Well, no, wait, it has a map object ref. So, yes. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we got this. We can make this work. So what we're going to say is... How... Uh-oh. I have to know the direction, right? I have to know the direction that the player is facing. Is there a direction? Get direction. Okay, so what we're going to do before we start making stuff crazy... Did I forget how they don't... Their direction is not like... It's like a cardinal direction or something. Oh, it's M direction. Oh, shit. They actually have a value for this. M direction. Set direction. They have, okay, utility. So this is where they have their values. So I can just go through this. I don't need a guess. I'll use theirs. Okay, so if direction equals, this is the like the UCAR engine nonsense. I don't want to see. Double equals. Dir. Right. Yeah. Then debug log. Mash right. Okay, so let's see if this works here. And the other thing I was just talking to one of my developers today about this. Um, so I do a lot of mentoring for developers, and the one thing I try to tell people who are junior or mid-level, honestly, at any level, there are some core things I always try to teach them to think about. And one thing that's really interesting to get across, and I live in Minnesota, so I think that regionally there's also differences in how people operate, right? And Minnesotans, from a cultural level, tend to be, I'm a bean level, Java bean. From a cultural perspective, tend to be more passive aggressive, and they tend to feel like their work speaks for itself and you should acknowledge it and move them up accordingly. But what happens is, in any work, if you don't vocalize what you need, your leadership won't be able to provide you that thing. And there's some people who assume that, well, as long as I work hard enough, leadership's going to notice that. And that's just not going to happen, right? Yeah. I tend to try to push people to tell me what they need. But most leadership will just make assumptions. Be like, well, you're not complaining, so you must be fine with how everything is going on right now, right? And so now, like, I've run into people like, well, why haven't I gotten promotion? Why haven't I gotten... It's like, have you said anything about what you need? I've asked you, have you done the things that I've told you need to do? And the answer is inevitably no, they have not. So, I always try to tell people, you need to be vocal. And it's funny with those developers how hard it is to get them to step up and grow. And I was just talking to a developer about this. Hey, Trixie, by the way. That I was self-reflecting that one of the things about me in my entire career has always been that I've never satisfied with how things are. Never. So my problem with using C language or any language is all the extra work. Holy Killboy Gaming. Okay. Let me just... Thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. You're going into the code forever. You'll be forever immortalized. I'm going to turn off the sound just so it's not like distracting from the conversation. Let me just go write this down. Good thing I wasn't trying to get work done anyway. OMG, Killboy, you will always... Thanks for the 5 gifted subs to... Look at all that, those people. Your cooperate is hard. Oh yeah, what's... You mean corporate? Okay, I think you meant corporate. I was like, cooperate? Toke. Kodai. White Vault got a sub. ABK 467. Game Devonian. I hope you're doing well, Game Devonian. Interesting that your last word is not uppercase. Onion, not onion. And Pixel Guardian. Guard those pixels. Guardian. You know how to spell. That was... I think he did that to shut me up. My point being that one thing I always tell people that are in junior roles is always look for ways to improve. Been going well, Trixie. How are you? Didn't I put your name in there? Did I spell it right? What about you? You're a subscriber now. Been going well, Trixie. Just working along, getting things done. Kicking butt, taking names. You know how it goes. I think what I'm going to do is just debug log the direction. Oh, I see. You do see. You're right there. How have you been, Trixie? How goes all the things in life? How goes robotic stuff? You still doing robotics? It's been a few months at this point. It has been a bit. Everyone working so hard on their games makes me want to get my butt in gear. Aren't you supposed to be? Didn't you just go off about how that's what you're doing, making your game? I'm not really paying attention. Sorry. It's okay. I don't blame you. I wouldn't pay attention to a dev streamer anyway. I go and harass Wallaber and I barely watch what he's actually doing. Oh, I'm sorry, Mendoza. He who shall not be named. I like that in this case. It makes him sound like a villain. Good things. I've been well. I'm impressed you remembered. That's cool. Got third. Why wouldn't I remember, Pixie? I know everything about you. Okay, that's really weird. Doing good. You know, everything's just moving along with the game. We made a new save system here. Well, a new save window. I just recently added camera panning and zooming. It's digital because I'm using my keyboard, but with the stick. No. I don't know, but you're so sweet. I just remember things. I mean, don't take it personally. I just remember things. I'm good at making associations with people. Just like trying to remember pieces about their worlds. And you know, you've hung out with us a bit. You even came when we used to do Wireside chats. You even came on those. Oh my gosh, did you? Oh, I gotta turn that back on. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate that too. 6 months. Wait, is that 6 months? Have you been subscribed for the last 6 months? This is like a sub night apparently. Also, thank you to Pixie. We stopped doing them because we got so busy and we haven't started them again. Maybe we'll try to restart them again. Get that going. I'll let you know. We've tried to. I think it's just like Jacob and I have been so busy. And Jacob now has a full-time job during the day. And it's just been hard for us to re-engage on that because of like, you know, working all the time, or when we decide not to, we just want to like not talk. But I'll try to do at least. We'll see if we can do another one again someday maybe. But I'm glad that the robotic stuff is going well and you guys got good outcomes. Are you still working on your game project? Or do you still have that like paper game going? Or did that just sort of die on the vine? I reload. 2. So that's 2. And that's 3. And that's 0. And that's 1. Okay. So then let's go look at what these directions look like. So what's the right? That's not correct. Up, down, left, right. Not the correct numbers. So it's the SCR. Oh, I should have just used the SCR. Okay. So it must have been that I had to use SCR. Makes it a little bit more. So what I would need to do is I would have to add to the, okay. Their player. Not transform. I don't know if it's better to make a vector out of this or not, but X. It's been slow because of school, but I picked it back up. Cool. When are you going to have a demo out? Just not the love of building save systems. Yeah, the save systems are... speaking of paper, I'm getting the Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake on Thursday. I have no idea. Is that good? I've never played Paper Mario. I missed out on a whole era of video games because I went to the military and I stopped playing video games. My whole life changed when I joined the military. Everything. Okay. So we're gonna do this, and then what we're gonna say is, how do we do this? I wish I could convert the direction into a proper direction. Because these are not, I mean, like this right here, up, down, left, right, they don't really indicate direction. So for the purposes of my testing, what I'll do is I'll just put this here. Because if, you know, doing the boilerplate, and it would actually, I think Copilot would create the boilerplate for it. Might actually do it. Hold on, let me see. Look at, okay. Wait, I said tab. Why didn't you do it? Come on, baby. Do me. There you go. Demo is going to be a while, but you'll be the first I notify when I have one. Okay. Well, I mean, it was a cute game. I still think about your approach to doing dialogues. I realize, you know, that Chrono Trigger does that approach too. I discovered the other day, where you start a dialogue and you can just walk away from it. So I thought that was interesting. Did you not know, Trixie, that I like associate things in my life with people that I know? This is how I do it. I always like, you know, there's so many people that live rent free in my mind. It's always just associated with whatever it is that is related. Don't you guys do that too? People must think about other people, right? Just because. If map object instance dot info dot x equals. So what we're gonna do is info dot. Is there not a z? What is R? What? I think Y is their conversion, their equivalent of Z. What are you gonna tell me? You can do this better than me? Reformat and clean up? Sure, do it. Why are you complaining? Fix comparison to be approximately because it's a freaking float? I don't think so. I think the position is... Oh, it might be a float. You're right. What did I do with that? So I have to do like... No, that's an int. I could just turn it into an int, I guess. I think I'd have to do like mathf.round or something just to make sure I get it. We'll make it an int for now. Hey Gavin, what's going on? Doing a little dino dance? Do a little dance? Make a little dino? Get down tonight? Oh my gosh, White Vault! Did you see you got a sub? You're officially subbed in my channel again. Like the good old days. Nothing much. So we're gonna compare these, and right now I'm just gonna debug log because I got to figure out how I'm gonna smash my object. You know, it's really smashable. Killboy is a sweetheart. I can't wait to support Killboy Games game when it is out. Whenever that is. Maybe in 2023? I mean 2024? Why does a duck have a tail feathers to cover its butt quack? Quack, 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 quack. Did you know it's supposed to flood here in Minnesota? There's an alert in effect until 1 a.m. So the flood is coming to Minnesota. Don't tell Cortana. I won't let you support me. I don't mean with money. I just mean like with my heart. Vertebrae should be called vertebros because they always got your back. You've got my back or a back. Yes. Baby got back. Little in the middle, but I got much back. Look at this. Whack. 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 What are you making? An ARPG? No. I thought you were making a turn-based RPG. Core Pilot Katana. Does Octopath Traveler have on-map things happening? Okay, so that's not working. I'm getting a number, but that's not what I want. So that's what I want. What I want. What I want. So I might need to debug this. The problem is going to be that I actually don't know what this data looks like. And it's going to be pretty important for me to know what it looks like. So we'll just stop this. Don't worry, I've been completely ineffective tonight because we got on debates about the technology industry and AI and programming languages. You can tell Mr. Mekamoo stopped talking because I dissed Java. I got fired from the orange juice factory because I couldn't concentrate. Don't ban me. Gonna put D4 out of business. I ran off all the Java devs. Well, you know, people get the most angry about something when they know you're right. It's all that smack talk about Java, apparently. No defenses. You know, I was talking about like the joke with Java and this Java 18, and I think Mr. Mekamoo's team's only using 10 or 13. But we literally just had to do upgrades on our platforms. We're still in process of upgrading our core platform to some of the latest. Oh, good. Something playable by end of year is good. Wait, Java's Java. Right. Like, we still use AngularJS in some parts of our site. I mean, we have Angular too, but Angular as well. But even the Angular version got outdated, and we had to upgrade that. It's hard to stay up with all the different versions of software. Okay, so. Oh wait, why is the debug break not happening? Is there no map object instances? Is that the real problem? Okay. List 0. Okay. So what the point? What the flip? Why? The Cube Miser. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. What the flip, man? Do we not? Okay. Is it only using them? When does it get added to it? Maybe they don't put them in there? What's this? Add map object instance. What does this do? Path. I mean, it should be adding them, right? Okay, I know. Maybe I broke something. I mean, it's probably my fault, right? That's usually how it works. Try again. It should. I feel like it should load those. Unless it's only doing it from an editor perspective. I don't know why it's duplicating these save files. There must be something that's not getting collected properly. So weird. Okay, so is the map drawer not doing its job? What calls this? Set ROM, add map object. Oh, that never gets called. Oh, crap. It can't be that they don't access these stupid map objects. Map object. Let's see. This is the drawer. Let me go back to here. You can get map objects by index. This is map object ref. Let's see. Where do these get added here? Save load. So load would be where I think where the map loads itself. Map.load. Okay, let me see here. Anyone read Japanese? Yeah, I can't forget. I have to get onto Duolingo before 12 to make sure I don't lose my streak. Don't let me forget that. I can't lose my 700 something odd day streak. It's really important to my life. Oh, good. I'm glad I looked that up. Load map object. What is this? Okay, so more new map object. GUID map objects add. Let me just see what happens if I drop that in there. This has to trigger because this is where maps actually load. I should be able to like go out here and make it clear. Did I stop the debugger? No? This does not have to load apparently. Where the flip does this happen? In the scene? Add map objects to the scene, but when does this happen? This would be during like a import. Map drawer generations. Let's go take a look at this here. Hold on a second. Is this part of change map impl is loading. Map drawer, map character generator. This is supposed to be what happens. What? Okay. This is where it's supposed to happen here. Add map objects to the scene. All right. Map drawer, set ROM impl. Here. By the way, Matzi, my brother's already composing some music for Grandma Don't Click That. It's such a bop. I forget, do we have a contract composer for our game? Yeah, we do. A guy named Jonathan Shaw, who's based out of the UK. He's really heckin' amazing. But that's great. I happen to know some of your other developers because some of them let it slip. One of them, I don't want to out them now because I don't know if they'll get in trouble. your secret plans with all your team. I'm not one of your developers. I think one of your team members. Contractors? What do you call them? Okay, so if it's a divided map scene, if it's not, if it's load scene, we do that. Do that. If it's load scene false, no. So we're going to skip all that and pretend. So they must, this must be where they add the map objects, maybe? Oh, if load scene equals false, okay. Why did you do that? I don't care about that. We need to find out where it might hit map objects. Secrets? I would never. I want to hear back from that person and they'll be like, what did you tell Sympathy? She was pissed. How dare you? It's totally on brand for your personality. You're always so nice, but it's like behind the scenes. It's like those people you find out that present as very nice, like the television personalities. Everyone's like, it's hell working for that person, behind the scenes. So is load scene is not going to be true. It's always false. So none of these things load the map object. I think the map objects must only get loaded as part of the map building. So when we import things. Ellen, is that you? Yeah. I think it's Ellen was one of the people I heard about. But everyone's she's just a beast. So the map object instances only get used during the import process. They don't get used as part of runtime. So what I could do, so I could see where map objects actually get used. There's 41 usages here. And I can see if there's some place in here that I might actually get access to them. I have an SGB map object, that doesn't matter. My height map. Okay, so there is something in MapDad that uses it as part of height map. Oh, but it uses collision info. Okay, never mind. This is not using the actual map object. This might though. What is this? Common resource map object. This is interesting. Where do you get this from? Height map rotate. This still might be part of their editor code. See, they some of their editor code is mixed in with their engine code because it was all one system basically. Update map and walkable state. Okay, so this has to be something related. Okay, all right. So where does this object come from? Are you kidding me? So they're doing the thing that I was trying to avoid. What? Where does R come from? Let's see. R. Okay, so it must be the do part of this. Does it go down to the bottom? No. Wow. Okay. How does R get set? So for each, okay, they use this. Oh my God, this is so stupid. Okay. So the thing I was trying to avoid was to get a map object, what they do is they use this index, they get the reference, and then they go to their catalog and pull out this map object. So the number of operations they're doing, it's probably not terrible. But if you're going to go through all this freaking work to get this data, why would you do it every single freaking time? And I'm kind of worried that like they do this as part of the update loop, which they might not. So so before I get too pissed off, let's find out if it actually happened. So if I go back to the game, so hit play. So this is running. This is a while loop, so what I'll do is I'll put this here. I was about to get mad, like, it's so true, it's happening. But it's not. So update map height and walkable state. We'll just comment that out. Okay, so this is where it happens, right? So if this were happening on every update loop, this would be triggering every time. And it's not. Right? So it's only going to happen during the map loading process, which makes sense. They're static objects. They should only have to fire it one time. So theoretically, that's the only time it runs. Okay. Because I just solved a performance issue where something like that was happening. Every loop, it was looping through all the things. And that would have been really annoying. But what's also interesting is, why the flip didn't they store the objects that they're pulling? I guess because they think it's not needed. And that's okay. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. If it's is a foothold, if map object is a foothold, what the frick is a foothold? Oh, if it's not a foothold, what? Is a foothold like an object that you can stand on? I don't know if I care about whether it's a foothold or not. I think I just want to get all of them. So what I'll do here is, as long as I is not null, I'm going to say this.mapObjects.add I. Wait, isn't map objects? Isn't this a map object instances? Oh wait, what is a map object? Map object instance is different from a map object. So map object. Does this have, these are values of, so the map object is just a definite, okay. So then these things are not instances. I'd have to figure out how to get an instance out of it. Add map object instance. And it takes If I can just get a point where I try to hit the spear and then it tells me the object that the spear hits, I will be content with that as a solution. Then I can worry about what happens after that fact. So let me think here. The map object instance represents the placement of the object on the map, which means it would conceivably have the actual object. Where was the map object instance at again? Here? Here? I hate it when they, this is why I don't like inner classes. It's so obnoxious. Okay, so imagine it's just this data set. So it has like the object reference, It has the model instance, so it has all the data. Okay, so then add map object instance. Takes in a reference, okay, and then it takes in a list of ROM items. I don't know why it takes a list of ROM items. This must be the data it needs to load. Oops. I guess it could have more than one ROM item. I decided to do a list search on the. Oh, I love developer comments. Okay. So then when we do this from like set ROM impl, what is this list? Oh, it's returning the list. Is it returning the list? What is it doing with this list? List does not exist in the current context. The F it doesn't. It's right there. Let me see. Maybe this will be good. Get filtered item list. What the frick? Is it like it's trying to prevent adding the same map object twice? Or it's trying to find... That's so weird. It's trying to associate the ROM item, but I don't need to worry about that here because I believe it'll be okay. So what I think I can do... because I everything I need to know is available to me. So then I want to go to get update. Was it update walkable? Was it? I'm gonna go back here where I was gonna put my code, and we have the ROM information. Hey, stuff creates. How are you? We want to do the map object reference, which is R, and new list ROM item. Hi, how do you do it? No, I think you have to do it in here. Let's forget how C# does. I think that'll work, right? How are you, Staff? Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing all right. I hope. Oh no, why'd I do that? Stop. Don't compile. Go deal with the fact that my compiler is going to take forever. How's Dev over here? Good. You know, I'll show you what I'm doing once it finishes doing what it's doing. I'm working on the on-map abilities now. I decided for this stream I would pick a random thing that's not even on my current list and work on it because it's eventually it needs to happen and it's more fun to work on it. And then for most of the stream we've talked about stuff and I haven't done work. It's just been the last like 10 minutes that everything got quiet. Once we mentioned Ellen, it was all downhill, right? Ellen DeGeneres. Degenerate? What's her last name? I derailed us. No. I thought it needed to happen. Everyone's like, uh-oh, sympathy's here. We better be on our best behavior. And all the swearing stopped. Immediately. I don't think there was a lot of swearing. Maybe there was. Oh. Okay, so theoretically, we will have things working, maybe. Okay, so I'm on a map. There should be map objects now. So if I do this and like hit a box, no, okay. So theoretically is not reality. Got it. And there might be something where there's a reset that happened here. So let me just double check something real quick. So if I go back to my code here. Oh wait, my code isn't breaking because I don't have a breakpoint. Yo, I never heard a curse word before. Very family friendly streamer over here. I know, I was obviously talking crap. But I wasn't doing it in any sort of gender way. I was talking about like, because it's the sympathy, like the amazing, the wonderful sympathy, you know. I don't know if you inferred that I was speaking gender wise. I was just talking about sort of like your presence and amazingness is what would cause them to be like, can't swear like I was a moment ago. Okay, so there's 17 objects. That's good. That's progress. Oh no, I inferred nothing. Sometimes I worry that things are inferred, so I just have to make sure. Why is it not iterating? Is it? I mean, it's theoretically is iterating. Right? There it is. Okay. So this is an object. X is 12. X is 11. So that would be. Wait, direction wise, let's see, where would we be here? What is our hero at? Hero X is 12. And hero Z is 17. Okay. 12 and 12. So that's not an object that would be hit, right? So let's just see if we can just find an object in this list here. At first I thought you said infrared. You know, Sympathy, I'm quite impressed, by the way, about the fact that you just went and like hammered out Celeste. It took me a long time. 13 and 13. 14 and R is 0. Okay. 14 and 13. So what we're looking for is 11. If I rounded it, it would be 12. But 11 and 17. So it could literally be the fact that I didn't round it. But let's see. So 11 and 17 is what I'm looking for. 12 and 12. 16 and 12. 13 and 20. These are ostensibly all the static objects, although it feels like there's more than that on the scene. 11 and 12. 18. Okay, wait. So we have 18 and 12. Was that 18 and 12? Let's see. I forget what it was now. 18 and 12. Okay. So I need to round the numbers, basically. So what I'll do here is math. Round. I don't really care. I'll just round it. Because I'm not doing an int. I guess I could do an int vector too. But where's the fun in that? Why not just do a whole nother operation on something, casting it to an int? Nothing should have to change there. That should be fine. Market research. I mean, you're going to make an ultra hard platformer. I get it. That's why you would need, ultra hard precision blob based platformer. And what you should do, Sympathy, is you should make it a multiplayer game where instead of having 2 blobs, you just have the pieces that come off be the multiplayer. So like online infinite multiplayer. A baby mode liquid platformer. I thought you were talking about having a baby, like a baby model, like a little baby blob or something. That's not what you meant. Fun for the whole family and all the other siblings and extended family and people online. I'll turn into like one of those .io games. So I think this is gonna work. I have faith it's gonna work. But you gotta have faith before you test your code away. You know it's gonna break today, but we're gonna try it. Nope, didn't work. I just keep trying. Smashable object found. Okay. So, you know, I mean, somewhere around it found something. I don't know how it decided. I'm a decider. Okay, so why is it... But this is the same spot I was at before. Give me those smashable objects. Look at that object. It's so smashable. Oh, it rounded to 11, not 12. That's annoying. So if we're doing left, I think left is positive, right? No, negative. Left is negative and up should be negative. Down and positive, right should be positive. Is that correct? She's facing left. Yes. So if we round that to... I gotta figure out something a little bit more... Okay. So she's on 12. That's her position. And her Z value is 17. Oh yeah, so I don't want to round it. Right? I don't want to round that value. But I might have to round the point that you go to. That doesn't make any sense. We just want to like get the value no matter... I could floor it. Maybe it needs to be floored instead of rounded. That's what inst does. Int just chops it off. Hulk smash. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna play through the animation. This is the little niggling stuff. So basically, I need it to be able to, regardless of whether I'm right up against it or like out here, I still want it to be able to detect that there's an object that it can smash. So in this case, the character is at 12.6 and 17.7. Now I think that the way this works is 0.5 is the middle of the square. So if it's 0.6 and 17.7, it means that she's slightly up and to the left or to the right of the middle or something like that. I can't look at it because the way Unity works. But... like whatever is considered her point on the map, which I can't look at it right now because it's in debug mode. So now we determine that her facing position is left. Should be left, right? So we -1. The only thing I'm not totally sure about is whether that's what should happen. Then we have X is 12. How to get exactly 12? That's weird. And Y is 18. Oh, it's because I haven't rebuilt it. Oh, I removed the code, but I didn't rebuild it. Okay, well, I'll just play this. What I want to do is I don't want to look at like the player's position here. So if I go into somewhere. Oop, gotcha. Oh crap! I can't even tell her position from here because it's not. It doesn't tell me the position. Damn it! Okay, so what I'll do instead is I know it was like 12 and 12 point something and 17 point something. As long as if I move this way, the number should get larger on the X axis, right? So that would mean here. Yeah, so the number got larger. So I am doing the right math in terms of subtracting and such. But I'm not detecting the right point on the map. So I just recently did something about this. What was it? Where was I doing? I was doing it with the... I think I was doing it the other way around, though. I thought these were supposed to indicate their value added while moving from chip to chip. Okay, float, obtain map, make reservation in advance. Okay. Current position. This is the unity of position. That's why they're using it uses 0.5 to offset it. This is supposed to be the character's like float-based position within the grid. That's why doing an int should be what I need to do. Stop, elaborate, and listen. Okay, we'll rebuild it real quick. And I mean, this is where like what I need to do is just do some debugging and really get into it. Like conceptually, what I'm trying to do now with the Smash Rocks, I've got the path defined. So basically, here's how it's going to look. In the Smash ability, because I can get the objects now from the map, and I know what object it is, I can perform an action such as playing an animation on the object. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Let's see. Map object instance dot modified model instance dot. Well, there's a way to play an animation on an object on the map. I'm not sure how I would do that yet. Main dot play. Where's play motion? Is it on the map engine? Main? I think it's the map engine. Map character? Where do we do this at? Basically, I think there's a place I can do a play motion that will cause the instant to play something like a break or something. I just don't know where it is. Or it's like change character graphic. Yeah, map engine. Okay. So I don't have a map character out of this object. So I gotta figure out how to animate it. But at the minimum, I could just make it go away. I could play a sound to make it go away. I don't know how I'd animate it yet, but these aren't really meant. These objects are not meant to be animated. Was there? This is info.character. I don't think that there is a character. Is there? It's a Copilot trying to be a little bit too helpful. There's a map object though. Category. The other reason I'm really glad to be doing this, because one of my longer term goals is to do things like make these map objects have, like, I can do common events on them. Like the flowers you pick up in Summiton, I want to make that something you can do anywhere. You can just run around the entire maps and just pick up all the flowers that you see. Because I just find it, I just want to see people do that. Just like the stupidity of the fact that you can just pick up flowers wherever you go would be hilarious to me. And so knowing how to do this is going to be kind of funny, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I guess I just want to see, like, what is the why am I not getting the difference that I need out of the swipe effect? I want to find out why it's not detecting it properly. Clearly there's something a little goofy about it, but it's supposed to be the same grid that we're working on. So I'm just not fully sure why. I mean, eventually it finds something. It does determine at some point, but not here. That's what I don't understand. So then, we're here. Let's go back to our map object. The bugger's not on. Okay, we can deal with this. It decided it didn't want to fully engage right at that moment. Got it. Oh, wait. I know why. No, I don't. Hero X, Hero Z. We have 12.7 and 17. So it'll be 11.7 and 17. I still don't understand why though. Like, there must be something. There's 18 and 12, but they're the reverse. X and Y. They can't be reverse. There's no way. 29, 29. You know what I should do? I already have this open. I'm going to go into the weapons shop here. The funniest thing to me, by the way, is that a good chunk of the Summiton area, all of these things, all these objects, they have scripts to them, and there are all these scripts that we're overwriting. And it's hilarious to me that there's just like underlying this is the demo that we built in Smell Game Builder that has some of the original crap in there. We just never removed it because it didn't matter. Is it that you're using Hero Y for detection? No, because I'm not using Hero Y. I'm using Hero Position Y, which I made a vector 2. So I made a vector 2 here off of the Hero Z. By the way, hi, Future Horizon Studio. Nice, welcome. Nice to have you here. What was I doing? Oh, damn it. Where'd my brain go? Oh, I was looking at Smell Game Builder. Okay. So I was like, I was doing something completely different. So this is 11 and 18. So it looks like the Y value is where I'm running into a problem. The Z value, but they call it, this is like XY, right? The way they do their maps is kind of weird. Because 11 is the number we're getting for the other values. So for some reason, and actually this value is 17. So wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, that would, 11 and 17. So this is 11 and 17. Okay. So is it so it has to be these objects then. Okay, this is interesting. Thanks for having you. You're welcome to be had. That's a weird way to say. Glad to have you here. 16 and 13. So these numbers don't make sense. I don't know what these numbers mean. 19 and 17? Is it okay? What's that 19 and 17? Let's find out. So 19. There's nothing at 19 and 17. Okay. So fundamentally the problem is what I am trying to get as map object does not have the right numbers. Why? But why though? Please tell me. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but last position. How is that possible? This doesn't have coordinates because they're just, this is the definition of the object. That's a decoration, okay. Would it easier work within a range rather than... No, the problem is that the values aren't correct. I mean, yeah, probably I could do something with a range, but at the moment, the objects I've thought that I so cleverly extracted are not the right object. They're not in the right position. I don't know what these positions are. This is 18 and 12, right? So, and I don't even know what R means in this case, because R is like, is it like the height of the object? I don't know. Because like 16 and 12, let's see. I mean, unless it's reversed, but so if I go to like 12, 16. Okay, so there is something at 16 and 12. But it feels like there's more than 17 objects in this map. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the points that we're referencing. So this says there's 17 objects on this map. I feel like there's more than 17 though. This doesn't give me ability to count the objects on the map though. I'd have like manually 1, 2, 3. Not all these are. This is an event. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's a. Oh, that's why. I'm a dum-dum. This is an event. I'm a dummy. I forgot about that. So I was looking at map objects because I was thinking about rocks. But these aren't, that's not a rock. That's not an object that has no, that's an object that has actual interaction. So, of course it wouldn't react. Like, I could do this, and I bet you it would give me a smashable, nope. Well, that won't work. Still doesn't work, but, you know. But it makes sense that it's not finding a smashable object because there's a lot of interactable objects on this map. So they don't get represented by the static map object instance. So, but it should be like if I go to this chunky. So there's rock. Okay, so it found the rock, right? Well, even the grass should give me the same response because the grass is an object on the map. So the real problem was I was trying to hit things that weren't they weren't smashable. Okay, that was dumb. I spent a lot of time on something that was not important. I guess that's okay. That tells me my brain is not engaged enough to keep working on this. But I did solve the problem. So I will want a combination of some objects that are map objects and some objects that are events that could be smashable. And in fact, what I really want to do is I don't want to smash. I want to swipe because I want her to be able to swipe the grass and cut it. Listen, this is no relevance. There's no, like, the only value of this ability on map is going to be potentially to like pre-attack an enemy as it's coming at you. It's not, this is an ARPG. This is a turn-based JRPG. Oh, have I thought about using... Oh dear. So I'm laughing because, like, first of all, yes, I use enums all over the place. But this isn't my code. This is the engine code. This is Smile Game Builder's code. So I have a ton of enumerators. Well, not here. I mean, in other places. I only got 2 there, but I swear I have more. Somewhere else I have more. I swear. I have a ton, maybe, in my code somewhere. Wait, why do I have 2 enumerator folders? Oh, because it's Alterium shit. Yeah, so I have a ton of enumerators in my code, as well as many other things. These are all my enumerators. So you can see, I don't hesitate to enum it up. But right now, what I'm trying to do is connect the dots on some of their engine code with the things I'm trying to do. Because it's on map ability, she's going to be able to smash or break things that are like weaker, hopefully, and attack enemies as a way to like pre-damage them. But it's not like because it's not ARPG, it's not like supposed to be like a major interactive capability. But she should be able to hit things on the map that could break things. I thought I was supposed to if you have a breakable object, you can have it set to either smash, swipe, depending on the object. That's also a good point. I don't know how I want to do it. If I detect the object there, I guess I could decide the action that she's going to take. Part of me wants to make it so you can do either. Like the ability's triggered with the trigger on the controller. Maybe I just have one is slash and one is smash. Slash and smash. Slash and smash. I don't know. Now I'm getting really too much ARPG. Yeah, it's about time for me to wrap up too. Thanks for the call out. I should have been wrapped up a while ago, but spent all that time chatting, so felt like I should get something done. Getting the ability was the important part, and now getting the smashable thing, I can see the path to completing. So I'm actually pretty happy about what the outcome is. Yeah, Stop, thanks for hanging out. Future, thanks for popping in. I hope you have a good one. Where are we gonna go? Can we go somewhere? To bed. That's where we should go. Straight to bed. What do we got? Aw, Mawixie is streaming. We should go see her. She's nice. Oh, but Griffin Blade's streaming too. Okay, now I gotta decide. Mawixie's learning. Griffin is mapping. We're gonna go see Mawixie and say hi. I gotta raid and run anyway, but thanks for hanging out, you alls and the lurkers and whatnot, and the chatters and the new peoples. Coding with strangers. Oh no, sorry, coding. I'm out. I'm out. Go. Sorry. Thanks for the almost raid. You all probably better timing because I wouldn't want you to raid me and then feel like I'm like stuck here or something. But you all have a lovely night. Thanks, coding, for the attempt. And I'm gonna go to bed. So night all. Have a good one.